Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Chud Watch. I hope you're doing well today. What's today? Saturday. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Oh boy, we have some stuff to look at today. So, Doomcock is back again, being mad that Star Trek still exists. We have Jeremy covering someone, covering Jeremy, covering how he thinks Brie Larson's channel is just destroyed, despite the fact that she in 2 months has garnered over half as many subscribers as it took him 3 years to get. We might just look at some other random quartering stuff. We have this video by Midnight's Edge about, they're doing a G.I. Joe reboot, I guess, and they're talking about, like, doing a crossover between G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Mask. No one knows what Mask is. Lord of Patriarchy's back. Just look at those clocks. And he's reacting to Jake, reacting to him, reacting to Jake, reacting to him. And we're going to react to that. And then, No BS is mad that Enola Holmes is a thing. Because you can't solve mysteries if you're a lady. Welcome, Daddy Sume. Hope you're doing well. Per Squire says I do. Mask is cool. Okay, I know what Mask is and you know what Mask is, but the vast majority of people who are movie-going public do not know what Mask is. Like, if they do a thing that's like, it's G.I. Joe versus Transformers versus Mask, people are gonna be like, what the fuck is Mask? No one knows what Mask is. I know what it is and even I don't know what it is. Cascadey93, when they pop in, can I ask for some hugs for my partner, HHHHH9998? Absolutely. They are going through a severe bit of stress, and it's causing me, their worrywart of a boyfriend, to feel bad, and I can't be there for them, so can you assist me in providing love? Of course. Of course. Dudes spanking dudes with 10 bits. How you feel about Trump getting corona? I wonder if stupid corona deniers will now wear masks. I don't think they will. I don't know if I'm allowed to say my opinion about it on Twitch, so I'm going to be safe and just, I'm not going to say my opinion. So you know what my opinion is. Sushi Bomb 10, I cannot wait for Clock Guy. Yeah, that'll probably be good. Maybe we're beating a dead horse at this point, but that's kind of part of the job, so I guess we're going to do that. Blink twice if you're happy about it, Hannah. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Daddy Sume, I only know what Mask is because of Robot Chicken. Me too. Literally, that's the reason I know what Mask is. And even Robot Chicken makes fun of it. Although, in fairness, it's a show that, like, satires stuff, so I get it. Devious Chillster with 50 bits, my opinion is, I am currently in Twitch jail for calling out Twitter for not letting me have an opinion. Yeah. I agree, Sushi Mom. I agree with the exact wording of the way you worded that. Apparently, and I've been getting, you know, relative updates like everyone else, but I guess he was on oxygen for a while. I think it's definitely worse than they're letting on. Because, of course, they're not going to show their hand and be like, oh my god, the president is so sick he might die. Because that would, you know, destroy the stock market, and we can't make the rich people feelings line go down. It's interesting. They gave him experimental, like, drugs that I don't think you would be giving someone if there wasn't a dire need. Last I heard he had a fever and was pretty symptomatic, yeah. And then after that it came out that he was on oxygen Friday night before he got got taken by helicopter to a hospital 8 miles away. So, Devious Chillster, thank you for gifting a sub to Shady Shroomy. Much appreciated. Didn't pop up on my thing though, that's annoying. I hate when that happens.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Give him hydroxychloroquine. I mean, he certainly advocated for it. So, this is his life, though, so he's going to probably listen to doctors. Or he'll be forced to. I don't think the like, what happens if the sitting American president is sick and cognizant enough to, like, tell their doctor what they want, and they ask for something ridiculous. Like, if Trump was like, give me hydroxychloroquine, even though it's not going to do anything for him except, you know, negative outcomes, do they have to give it to him? Or is the apparatus of the government going to be like, you cannot have that? HHH9998. I hope you're doing well. I heard you were having a rough time. I'm sorry to hear that. Thanks for coming to the stream. That implies he was ever cognizant. I think I said relatively cognizant, didn't I? It's relative to his baseline, you know? Let me turn this music off. This is the paddest on Trump. This is the paddest on Trump. Latest typo. That makes sense. Next 48 hours critical for Trump and virus fight. Yeah. President Donald Trump went through a, quote, very concerning period time Friday, and the next 48 hours will be critical in his care as he battles the coronavirus at a hospital. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said Saturday. Meadows' comments contradicted the rosy assessment of Trump's condition offered by his staff and doctors, who took pains not to reveal the president had received supplemental oxygen at the White House before his hospital admission. Quote, we're still not on a clear path yet to a full recovery, said Meadows. It was a dramatically different picture from the one painted by the White House staff since Trump revealed his diagnosis, as well as by his doctors, who updated the public at a press conference on Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. The briefing by Navy Commander Dr. Sean Conley and other doctors raised more questions than answers, as Conley repeatedly refused to say whether the president ever needed supplemental oxygen, despite repeated questioning, and declined to discuss exactly when he fell ill. Conley also revealed that Trump began exhibiting, quote, clinical indications of COVID-19 on Thursday afternoon, earlier than was previously known. Quote, Thursday, no oxygen, none at this moment, and yesterday with the team, while we were all there, he was not on oxygen, Conley said. Very selective choice of words there, isn't it? He was not on oxygen when the team was there. You, me, Devin, thank you for subscribing. Shady Shroomy with 10 bits. Pence is just slap fighting with Trump over a bottle of hydroxychloroquine. Oh, we're on a hype train. 81% of level 1. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. I think he's probably going to recover. And I'm not going to comment on how I feel about that. But you know how I feel about that. But I think it's going to be for the worse. Because he's going to come out of this being like, even though it's clear at this point that he's had to go to the hospital and he's had to be on oxygen, it was probably a terrible experience. He's a narcissist, so he's not going to admit to any of this. So he's going to get out there and he's going to say, see, babies, I told you it was nothing. See me, like 79-year-old Donald Trump with the greatest healthcare on the planet. I'm fine. You can get over it too. We're going to open everything up. And then he's going to get a bunch more people killed. And meanwhile, half the country will cheer. It's going to be bad. Please vote, everyone. Please vote. Probably F him up for the rest of his life, though. How long is that, really? How long could that possibly be? Have you seen Donald Trump? He's not the healthiest individual in the world. Which is why this is interesting. Because, like, yeah, it's obvious Trump isn't healthy and he's old. And the fact that we basically have a geriocracy is a huge problem. Look at the two people running for president. They're really, really old. Like, just think about it, though. Like, this guy is in multiple high-risk categories for COVID. He's obese. He's stressed because he's the president, and even though I think he's probably more stressed than your average president because he does a bad job, nonetheless, everyone who's president is stressed. There's nothing funny about the did I already say obese? He's old, he's obese, he's stressed. I'm sure there are other factors too, but my point is, like, this is a disease that is, like, tailor-made to infect Donald Trump and commit, oh boy. What's the name of the lady? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's gonna Alanis Morissette him. You know what? No, that's not even dramatic irony. It's just, I guess if you look at it from the frame of, like, he downplayed it, and then he might get Alanis Morissetted, which is now what I'm going to call it, by it. That is very, very 1,000 spoons when all you need is a knife, if you know what I mean. Chris Christie got it. Yeah, Chris Christie got it. Some senators got it. Beelzebub, thank you for the 10 bits. I appreciate it. It's an obvious plot arc, yeah. If this were a movie, people would be like, oh, imagine if this was like you're watching House of Cards season 20 and they have a completely different cast of characters. And they're like, oh, the president that downplayed a virus and killed tens of thousands of people catches the virus. That's pretty cliche, isn't it? Seems a little... not the best. This is not the best writing, but I'll take it. October, do your thing. It would be a character development moment, but not in this reality. Yeah, no. Trump's gonna come out of this, because I really think, I think he's gonna survive. I do. And he's gonna brag about it, and he's gonna be like, I had it, and I was fine. Listen, okay? I had the virus. It was nothing. China tried to kill me, but I'm fine. Take that, China. A bat tried to kill me. Someone ate the bat in China, and China tried to kill me, and I fought it, because I am Donald Trump. I'm the best. My immune system, they're telling me, is the best. Very stupid. It's like Aaron Sorkin wrote this. Aaron Sorkin's smarter than the plot of reality. Aaron Sorkin also has better dialogue. If Aaron Sorkin wrote Trump's speech, I would think Aaron Sorkin had a stroke. Anyway, I guess we should get to the other content, but if anyone has any, like, if there's any, like, during Chud Watch, if there's any, like, new developments, let me know, and I'll cover them so everyone can stay up to date, but I don't know how much is gonna get covered, unless something really bad or really good happens, which means whatever you want it to mean. We probably won't hear anything else, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe Mitch McConnell will get it. That'd be interesting. Mitch McConnell must have been at that stupid party they had after Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, and they're like, haha, we're gonna undo Roe v. Wade, and then they had like a rich people garden party, which is hilarious. Trump's tweets have been weird too. Have you seen this? Trump Twitter. Trump is tweeting oddly. It feels like almost, and this is tinfoil hat. My tinfoil hat's right there. Frig it. We'll do it. We'll do this. Okay. So, Donald Trump has been tweeting strangely. I don't think he's actually been tweeting, okay? I feel like someone in the administration was told, tweet like you're Trump, so people think he's doing better than he is. Highly and Derp with 10 bits. I missed the hype train, but I just want to tell you that your hair's looking cute today. Thank you. So here are some of his recent tweets. 16 hours ago, he tweeted, going well, I think. Thank you all. Love! I don't think Donald Trump has ever said the word love in his life. Unless money was, like, within 3 words of it. Doctors, nurses, and all at the great Walter Reed Medical Center and others from likewise incredible institutions who have joined them are amazing, tremendous progress who have made over the last 6 months in fighting this plague. With their help, I am feeling well. Weirdly, I don't feel like Donald Trump would use the word plague. I think the spelling would confuse him. And also, this feels like someone trying to do the Trump random word capitalizations, but it doesn't come off as Donald Trump. Again, this is tinfoil. It's probably Donald Trump. Forget the hair, it's those cheeks. Thank you. And then he says, our great USA wants and needs stimulus. Work together and get it done. Thank you. Which is weird. Which is very, very strange. Anyway. It's probably Trump. But I don't think it's Trump. I feel like he's somewhere, he's in the medical center and he's hooked up to a ventilator and he's having a really bad time. I think he's having a bad time. And you can feel however you'd like about that. I will keep my opinions to myself. Though you can infer them. I was thinking about covering today stuff like Sargon and some other Liberty Hangout did this too. They have new videos out that are like, oh, the left, the evil demon left is being so mean and wishing Donald Trump ill. And it's like, hey guys, do you know that thing called context and how it matters to whether or not you treat someone with respect? Yeah. It's important. But that would be my entire commentary, so I'm not going to do those. Because what do you want me to spend an hour listening to Sargon's video on Trump getting COVID, and every time he's like, oh, the tolerant left is cheering this on. You want me to really for an hour go like, yeah, he's responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans that didn't have to die. Schadenfreude is a word that exists for a reason. It would just be monotonous. So we're not going to do that. We're going to look at other stuff today. Well, I know you guys would listen to that for an hour. You have very low standards for entertainment. That's why you're listening to me. I would get bored. How about that? 200,000 people in the U.S. have died over that. I think it was, last time I looked, 208. I'm not sure what it's at now. COVID deaths USA. USA. 209. We're up to 209,000 deaths. Oh gosh. I think we have like 20%. Last time I looked at the stat, I don't remember what percentage of the world's population the US is. It's not super high, but we have 20% of the world's COVID deaths, which is way too high considering how much of the population we make up. So anyway. So on to more, is pleasant the right word? On to more entertaining things, at least, you know, for the moment. Merriam-Webster status, what is this? Looks up Schadenfreude have spiked 30,000%. Give it to the dictionary, people. They know a burn when they see one, and they take the opportunity and they do it. I worded that in the worst way possible. Magnetar707, thank you for subscribing. 5-month streak, and Daddy Sume with 10 bits. I do not have low standards. I'm just obsessed with your hair, Hannah, and the secret messages you send me with your eyes. Orders confirmed. Target acknowledged. I disavow. Anyway. So, Jeremy. How you doing, Jeremy? Your beard's looking luscious today. And that hat, nailing it. I think he even went to the big boy potty today. Anyway, so Jeremy has a new video about Brie Larson, and this is about him covering articles that are just repeating what he said in his last video on Brie Larson. It's like he's covering people covering him covering Brie Larson. It's very strange. Like, remember, if you missed it, the last video, Jeremy did a video where he's like, Brie Larson's channel is dying. It's not. It's doing fine. In fact, let's take a look at Brie Larson's channel. I always feel weird doing this. Because, like, I am now emotionally invested in the longevity of Brie Larson's channel, which I don't particularly care about, although it's fine. If you like Brie Larson, that's great. Anyway, so she has 431,000 subscribers. Jeremy, at this point, he might be a little bit higher because he's doing a push to He's doing a push because he's wanting to get to 1 million. He's at 909,000 subscribers. She's had a YouTube channel for about 2 months, maybe 3 months now. 3 months. And in that time, she's gotten a little under half of what Jeremy got in 3 years. Jeremy seems to be very, very upset about this, which is one of the reasons he continues to make tons and tons of Brie Larson content. Also, it gets clicks. I get that. It's the reason I'm making this video. But anyway, he did this whole thing where he was looking at her videos and, like, her videos are pretty well viewed considering she has 431,000 subscribers. Like, this one has 162, 230, 237, 369, 174 from just 2 days ago. She's getting almost half of her subscribers to view her videos in the first 2 days. And that's great. That's really, really good. It depends on the channel a lot of the time. But Jeremy took this and decided, oh, Brie Larson's channel is dying because literally every subscriber she has isn't watching her videos, which of course they're not. That's not typically how YouTube works. Jeremy knows this because if you look at Jeremy's videos, this one from an hour ago has 30,000. Only an hour ago, though. But let's say a day ago, 130, 135, 122, 112, 180. A lot of his videos get fewer views than Brie Larson's, and she has half the subscribers. So anyway, he's super salty, and he made a video the other day like, our channel's dying, and then he pulled up like was it a Polygon article? I don't remember. It was some website that was doing an article about Brie Larson having a YouTube channel, and Jeremy, stretching as he does, went, this is proof that her channel is dying because Polygon wrote an article to promote her! Despite the fact that Jeremy makes Brie Larson content himself because it has really, really good SEO. If you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. So a lot of people search for Brie Larson because there's people like Jeremy who talk about her all the time, and people like me who talk about Jeremy talking about her all the time. So people get clicks when they write Brie Larson content. Jeremy inadvertently is the cause of articles being written about Brie Larson, and he doesn't know it. And he thinks it's somehow showing that she's doomed. Very strange stuff. So anyway, some of the articles in this video are talking about the same thing. So I think their source was Jeremy. So Jeremy's covering them, covering him, covering her. So I'm going to cover him, covering them, covering him, covering her. Let's watch the video. My brain hurts.
Uh-oh, Pescatios. Captain Marvel has a big problem and has perhaps sunk to a new low. Say it.
Are you part of the commentary community now? Is that a thing? I guess. I comment on videos.
Isn't so. Not Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. Oh, no. Oh, I just know people are going to be so upset to see another Captain Marvel video on this channel. It's just going to ruin so many days. Well, if your day isn't ruined, make sure you leave a like. And if you haven't yet subscribed, the push to 1 million subscribers is going on right now, and I need you to click that red subscribe button right below the video. If we make it by the end of the year, we're going to do something really special. It can happen, but it can't happen without you. A new article out on Screen Rant says, Captain Marvel 2 can learn from Iron Man and Thor to fix its biggest problem.
Oh, this isn't
While
the article
many
I was
see
talking
problems with
about.
just how
Later in the video, he talks about the other thing.
Powerful Captain Marvel is in the MCU.
Unless I have the wrong video, but I don't think I do.
Her biggest issue is lack of accountability.
A few seconds ago, ask Compy with 10 bits, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined.
Ability. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Wow, this is such substantive content, Jeremy. Saying uh-oh over and over again? That's really good. Keep going, please.
With Captain Marvel 2 on the horizon, the MCU has the opportunity to recontextualize one of Carol Danvers' biggest issues, taking a cue from one of its biggest heroes. After Phase 3 concluded with a loss of several original Avengers, Phase 4 seems to be founded on introducing new and unique characters moving forward, while also giving more depth to new heroes audiences met during the last few years. In 2019's Captain Marvel is one of the biggest, highest-grossing solo films in the MCU, but it failed to connect with a lot of fans due to the perceived invulnerability of its main character. Even though the sudden...
I don't think that's a problem. I think people who liked Captain Marvel for the most part. People who didn't. And that's completely fine. But I don't feel like that's the problem, because look at someone like Superman. There have been multiple Superman movies that have been really good. The Christopher Reeve ones. And Superman is a mostly invulnerable character, but that doesn't mean that you can't put obstacles in the way of the character that make them vulnerable, whether that's through, like in Superman 2, having him fight General Zod, who is his equal, or whether having someone that he loves be in peril, like Lois Lane, or like having someone else that the character cares about being in trouble. Especially in terms of Captain Marvel 1, she definitely wasn't, like, invulnerable until, like, the end of the movie, and that was her character arc, was realizing how much power she had and being able to use that power, right? That was the climax of the movie. So I'd imagine in Captain Marvel 2, she'll either be going up against someone who can match her in power, or it'll be a situation where it's someone who, like, is really, really smart and has some brilliant plan that causes issues for her. That's the two ways you can do. You can either go General Zod and have an equal, or you have a Lex Luthor who's going to come up with some plan that's going to psychologically mess with the hero. That's how you do something like this, Jeremy. It's not even new.
Escalation of her powers and abilities was worked into the narrative, it still resulted in the stakes of the movie feeling rather low and left its villains looking insignificant. Avengers Endgame took this even further with more experienced versions of Captain Marvel, culminating in the last-minute show-off between Carol Danvers and Thanos himself.
Daddy, suit me with 10 bits, or a magic user who can circumvent their powers like Doctor Strange. Sure.
Which was who that punch.
That works especially with Superman, because he's vulnerable to magic.
You needed the Power Stone to do it, but it was still nice to see. I mean, it was interesting.
Yeah, Jeremy, that's how it works. She's very powerful. She got her powers, if you even paid attention during the movie. I don't know how much you paid attention. She got her powers from the Space Stone, so sure, her powers are powered by an Infinity Stone. She's very powerful. And yeah, Thanos did punch her with another Infinity Stone. That was part of the movie.
Although many fans claim Carol's powers are a major issue with their...
Ask Compu. You could do both. A villain that goes the Lex Luthor route, but when they lose, reveals themselves to be equally powerful as a hero. I guess. I feel like that's a little... I don't know. Like, Thanos is already that. I feel like Thanos is smart, but he's also, like, as strong as the Hulk. I feel like he can't just keep doing that. Whatever it is, I'd imagine. The recent Marvel movies have been pretty darn good. I think that they'll have good writing in Captain Marvel 2. And I enjoyed Captain Marvel 1, but I get it. It felt very origin story syndrome. You know, it's like, okay, here's our hero. They're learning about who they are and their powers. Here's maybe some friends we meet along the way. By the end of the movie, they come into their own and, like, realize their full potential. We've seen that a million times. I think Captain Marvel 2 will probably be the more entertaining of the two movies, even though I like the first one.
Character, there's simply a part of who the character is and needs to be written in a way that's compelling. One of the ways it can do this is by taking lessons from both Iron Man and Thor, both powerful characters who had to answer for the actions they'd taken in the past. Captain Marvel's immense power in the MCU certainly makes it hard to find physical threats who could take her on.
I don't think that's true. I'd imagine, and I haven't really read the Captain Marvel comics. Someone sent me the trade paperbacks of some Captain Marvel. The ones more or less that the Captain Marvel movie are sort of based on. I know they're not one-to-one in any way, shape, or form, but it's the one where Captain Marvel gets the more modern version of her costume. And I plan on reading those at some point, but I haven't. But I'd imagine that there are a multitude of Captain Marvel villains that match her. Captain Marvel villains. And even if they don't, by the way, I don't know if you know this, Jeremy, you can write new villains. You can just make up characters that are as powerful or more powerful. 10 best Captain Marvel villains. Let's see. Nitro.
There's nothing funny
Nitro
about
may
the
not
tools
be
of
as big of an
capitalism.
adversary to Carol Danvers, but fans of Captain Marvel's first iteration, Mar-Vell, know Nitro as the man who killed Captain Marvel. Nitro's powers involve him being able to ignite his body to blow up, only to recover shortly after. Oh, this is the guy. He started Civil War. Oh, God. For those who haven't read Civil War, if you don't know how it happened in the comics, it's very different than it is in the
Nothing funny
movies.
about the tools of capitalism.
In the comic Civil War, it starts because a group of heroes, I think it's either the West Coast Avengers or maybe the Midwest Avengers, I don't know. Either way, they're fighting Nitro near a playground, and Nitro blows himself up and kills a bunch of kids, and that's what starts Civil War. It's so
There's
stupid.
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
We need Snowflame. Oh God, I know exactly who you're talking about too. The superhero, or the supervillain rather, who is powered by cocaine. Yeah. We can Google that in a second. Andrew Dickerson. I think seeing the dynamic between Carol and Kamala will be interesting. I just hope they have a good villain, yeah. Ask Compu, there's more than one Infinity Stone. If she got her powers from one, it's entirely plausible someone else got powers from another. Sure. Squirrel Girl can beat everyone. That's canon. Snowflame! Snowflame. Anyway, so here's Snowflame. Here he is powering up with his cocaine. Oh, it's like a Miami Vice Snowflame. That makes sense. Here he is with more cocaine. So yeah, Snowflame, real comic book villain that exists, is powered by cocaine. Anyway. Doomsday Man. That's a stupid name. Comic books are dumb. I love them. This devastating droid of destruction is a deep space machine sent far into space. It became sentient, however, and became a dangerous asset. When acquired by AIM and MODOK, this sentient machine became a core weapon in the quest to acquire the Cosmic Cube. Before fusing with the villain Destructor, who was fused to the machine thanks to the same forces that blended Danvers' DNA with Mar-Vell's, this machine started as a Silver Surfer villain before becoming a reoccurring adversary of Carol Danvers. So there's one. Genis Vell. What makes Genis Vell such an effective antagonist is how he is in essence the rightful follow-up to his father's legacy. He was born to be Captain Marvel, yet he lacks the humanity to be worthy. He takes the mantle from Monica, who to her credit thinks Genis Vell can be a worthy follow-up, only to prove very, very unstable and unworthy. So that could be adapted to the movies in some way. Like, maybe, like, Mar-Vell, because Mar-Vell's very different in the movie. In the movie, Mar-Vell is like oh God, what's the word I'm thinking of? Is a, it's like a role model. It's not the word I'm thinking of, but close enough. Is like a role model person to Carol Danvers and is a woman. In the comics, Mar-Vell was a man. He was an alien man who dated Carol Danvers, and when he died, his powers went to her. Mentor, that's the word. Yeah, I don't know why I was blanking. Cascadian93. People ask me why I hate Western comics, and I literally have to put in no effort to show them why. Oh boy, do we want to... I don't even know enough about manga to make fun of it, but manga is just as stupid. Don't act like Eastern, like, comics are some bastion of, like, not stupid stuff. Anyway, you could adapt this. Show that maybe Mar-Vell had a kid who also somehow maybe got powers, because in the movies they get powers differently. But clearly Mar-Vell had the Space Stone for a while, considering she built the big engine thing out of it. So maybe we find out that prior to Carol Danvers getting Captain Marvel powers, Mar-Vell's kid also gets them, and for some reason hates Carol Danvers and wants to kill her. I don't know. I'm not a writer, but the point is you can adapt these things. Titanus. Captain America is the result of mankind's search for a superhuman. Titanus is that, only for Skrulls. Titanus made his entrance on Earth known by destroying Tokyo, believing it to be a good way to draw attention to the world's superheroes. It wasn't. Cascadia 93. I never said manga was good. Okay, good. Super Skrull would also work, although Super Skrulls has Fantastic Four powers, so that would probably come in later.
There's nothing funny
the Supreme Intelligence. Oh yeah, the Supreme Intelligence is still out there somewhere too. She didn't kill the Supreme Intelligence or anything in the movie. So they could just like embody the Supreme Intelligence and have that be a villain. So we have some other ones. Oh, Mystique. But that's an X-Man and they're not going to introduce Mystique in Captain Marvel. The point is, comic books are a huge well to draw from in terms of villains, and Captain Marvel has been a character for a while now. You can pull any of those villains and any of those conflicts and adapt them for the screen. Can we not act like it is impossible to make a movie about a very powerful character? Like, it's just not the case.
It isn't a handicap that prevents her films from being good. The MCU is filled with unfathomable...
Andrew Dickerson says, mangas equally stupid, but they're easier to get into since most mangas don't require you to read 40 years of material from various series. Most comics don't either, honestly. Most runs, or most, like, trade paperbacks, you could probably pick up and get it. Superman movies exist, yeah.
Fathomably powerful characters, from Doctor Strange's near mastery over reality to Scarlet Witch's devastating chaos magic. The fact that Carol's infused with the power of the cosmic cube makes her one of the few characters prepared to take on bigger and more menacing threats.
In the MCU, the Space Stone was inside of a cube that looked like the Cosmic Cube, but that does not make it the Cosmic Cube.
Laying a waste.
I take umbrage with that statement.
In the larger Marvel canon. However, one problem that is left unresolved by the first film is the horrific actions that Carol was complicit in a result of her service to the Kree Star Force. While the movie's initial setup makes it seem as if the Kree are engaged in a brutal battle with the shape-shifting Skrulls, it's ultimately revealed that the Skrulls are simply refugees searching for a new home, making the Kree the clear aggressors. This, of course, gives Carol the initial initiative to rebel against the oppressive Kree suppressors and help them protect the Skrulls. But it doesn't exactly absolve her of everything she was culpable in before. That's right. Captain Marvel should apologize. Absolutely. We need more apologies from our...
Jeremy, do you not understand that characters, like, have problems in their past that they then address? Like, Tony Stark. Hello? Every single Tony Stark Iron Man movie involved him fighting someone who he created by his own arrogance. Like, Obadiah Stane, I think that was his name, like, is arguably the exception, but he's basically a stand-in for the kind of evil, like, money-making weapon person, ironmonger, that Tony was. So he fights basically a version of himself in the first movie. In the second movie, Iron Man deals with the fact that his father wasn't the good person that a lot of people think he was, and therefore you end up with Ivan Vanko coming back with the plans for the arc reactor that both his father and Tony's father developed with his own, and then he fights Tony Stark. The third movie, Tony Stark messes up with Killian, who is sort of the fake Mandarin, and it's his arrogance that causes him to develop this, like, weird fire power thing that, you know, Iron Man 3 is kind of a weird movie. But again, Iron Man's, like, thing, it was dealing with people that are enemies with him because of his past choices most of the time. This even carried over into Spider-Man 2, where we have Quentin Beck, who is a disgruntled ex-employee of Tony Stark, right? Heroes dealing with their mistakes of the past in the present is a common trope. I don't know why you're acting like, because this is Captain Marvel and you're talking about it, you're like, oh ho ho ho, we better get mad at Captain... Like, okay, first of all, Captain Marvel is a character. Calm down. Secondly, Yeah, it would make sense in a sequel, considering she was part of the Kree, like, battle force or whatever. It would make sense for her to be, like, atoning for that stuff. That's not like a gotcha to the first Captain Marvel movie. That's literally building on elements of the character from the first movie. What? It's like he thinks that pointing out, hey, this would be an interesting thing to put in the movie, is going, ah ha ha ha, see everyone, Captain Marvel isn't as perfect as you thought she was. Like, bud, no one thinks Captain Marvel is a perfect character. Like, she was part of a war that killed a ton of people. Like, duh. Yeah, he made Ultron. He also did technically make the Vulture by forming damage control. Yeah. A lot of things in the MCU are Tony Stark's fault.
Our fictitious superheroes. We need them to go on apology type tours. We need to really get some level of cancel culture going in the MCU, because
Jeremy, you are stretching so hard, and this is painful to listen to. Jeremy, imagine if after Iron Man, like, 1 came out, I made a video where someone's like, hey, I wonder if any of Tony Stark's, like, characters are gonna, you know, come back and bite him because of his character flaws that he kind of overcame in the first movie, but, like, not entirely. He still did bad things in the past. And imagine that you go, yes, we need to cancel culture Tony Stark. Like, bud, some of the, like, most important parts of storytelling in the MCU have come from, like, exploring the character's past. Look at even, like, the Scarlet Witch came about because of that. Her whole backstory, her and Quicksilver in the MCU, involves, like, a Stark missile killing their parents and them wanting revenge on Tony Stark. This also ties into Ultron, and also ties into Tony Stark because he's, like, upset that he effed up Ultron, creating Vision. Like, dude! Storytelling, especially comic book storytelling, so often involves examining the flaws of your character and having them face them. Not even just comic book storytelling. Any kind of long-form storytelling. Doctor Who does this too. The show's really old. You saw this in Capaldi's, like, Am I a Good Man speeches. Like, examining the flaws of your character is a good thing to do. It gives them depth. It shows that they aren't a perfect individual, and this is something Marvel has always done well in the comics and the movies. And you're treating it like people are going like, we're gonna cancel culture a fictional character. It's ridiculous. You sound like such a jackass.
because ultimately it's really depressing that we don't see more twitlongers coming from our superheroes.
There's nothing
Look,
funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cascadia93 with 10 bits. Superman's entire comic series is realizing and dealing with the fact that he's untouchable and realizing that. I haven't really read a lot of Superman, so.
I have been on record as saying I'm a massive Captain Marvel fan. You can't convince anyone differently simply because I have just the sheer amount of videos on this channel that prove and support my position. But
how embarrassed do you think he still is that he had so much of his reputation on the line in terms of the whole get woke go broke thing and the lead up to Captain Marvel and how he was like, this is going to be a failure. This is going to be one of Marvel's biggest blunders. And it winds up being one of the most profitable Marvel movies. 23rd highest grossing movie of all time. 1.1 something billion dollars. You think he's embarrassed about that, or do you think he shoved that feeling real deep down inside, where only oh god, where only the basement pea can find it?
I honestly don't think it's reasonable to go so far as to demand apologies from our superheroes. But
it's not about Jeremy, in your head, do you think the scenario here goes where, like, the movie credits roll, and then there's like a 5-minute PSA where Captain Marvel in character comes on screen and goes, I just want to apologize for all the Kree children, or for all the Skrull children I murdered in their beds? No, Jeremy, this comes out of, like, storytelling. So presumably in, like, Captain Marvel 2, maybe there's, like, a Skrull bad guy who comes out, even though the Skrulls were, like, turned out to be the good people in the first movie, like, everyone of a certain species isn't one thing or another. Maybe there's someone who there was a mission where Captain Marvel went out when she worked for the Kree and did something terrible because she was still at the time under the assumption that these Skrulls were evil. And that, like, Skrull grew up to have some Skrull superpower or whatever, and decides to take revenge on Captain Marvel. That's an interesting plot, because then you have to deal with Captain Marvel fighting an individual who is probably right in their assessment that Captain Marvel did terrible things, but she has to, like, deal with that and try and come to a solution. Maybe not even necessarily with, like, destroying that villain, but, like, I'd assume there'd be fights because it's like an action Marvel movie, but maybe in the end they come to the understanding, maybe another worse thing happens and they have to team up or something, and come to the understanding that, yes, I did terrible things and I am so sorry, I didn't know it was happening, but we don't have to fight each other. That's fine. That's an interesting plot, right? Jeremy is so obtuse when it comes to, like, stuff like this that he pretends that every time someone brings something up like this, he imagines the stupidest version possible.
There's nothing funny about the
like
tools of
Captain
capitalism.
Marvel being canceled. No, it's just an opportunity for storytelling, and they might go a completely different way with it. I have no idea. The point is, Jeremy, that you are so salty that you were wrong about the first Captain Marvel movie that you're making the same mistakes all over again. All you're doing is being like, let me stew in my pee basement and get mad about things that I think are going to happen. You know, it's... Jeremy, when Captain Marvel 2 comes out, and it's gonna make a decent amount of money, assuming comic book movies are still popular when that comes out, I have no idea, and you're just gonna look as stupid as you did the first time. Why continue to make the same mistakes? Very strange. Teaming up, what is this, Dragon Ball? You missed the basement pee. Give me context. Did you miss the time we watched Jeremy get sloshed on stream and he peed in his basement on the floor? That happened, if you don't know. I have it somewhere on my YouTube channel. Go find it if you want. Have I ever told you the definition of insanity, Jeremy?
As Brie Larson's YouTube career begins to dwindle.
So far, we only have one video in the Chud Watch Hall of Fame, and it's that time Caitlyn Bennett got run out of campus. But I'm telling you, the day Captain Marvel 2 breaks $1 billion, or the day Brie Larson gets more subscribers than Jeremy, whichever comes first, Jeremy's reaction is probably going to make it into the Chud Watch Hall of Fame. I have a feeling.
News outlets accused of simping.
This is what I was talking about. So Jeremy is now covering an article that is using him as a source in order to make a video about Brie Larson. It's like a snake eating its own tail. You look into it and you can see the universe. Like, dude, the person who's accusing Brie Larson of simping is you. They're talking about the video you made the other day. You're reading an article about how you accused someone of something, and then using that to say, like, I was right. You can't use yourself as a source.
Oh, no. I couldn't imagine that. Why? Who would simp for Brie Larson outside of me? I mean, I suppose there's plenty of room in the Brie Larson simp train, but not Sportskeeda. The 30-year-old American actress has won an Academy Award, a Golden Globe. Yeah, she's great. Everything about her. Oh, wait a minute.
He's so mad.
It's my video.
Yeah, Jeremy, you're literally reading an article about you. If Jeremy could self-fillet, I don't think he'd ever make another video again. I think he'd just sit in his basement and alternatively pee on the floor and suck himself off.
to make her one of the most prominent high-profile Hollywood stars. Despite having around 424,000 subscribers, Brie Larson's YouTube channel hasn't precisely struck gold, as her views seem to be diminishing as late. Keeping this in mind, Jeremy Habley of The Quartering recently released a video where he addressed...
Again, they're just repeating what Jeremy said, which was false information. They're still acting like she's getting, like, bad views on her videos, and they're not. They're quite good for the number of subscribers she has.
This is Brie Larson's YouTube phenomenon. The initial hype died down. Brie Larson's YouTube channel failed to maintain its grip over viewers. According to Social Blade, her channel and subscribers seem to be on the decline. Speaking about the decline, Jeremy Habley, who himself is a huge fan of Brie Larson... It's happening! It's happening!
They're being sarcastic, Jeremy, like you are when you say that. Everyone gets it. Sports Skeeta, or Sports Keeta. I wonder what this website has. Hold on. Sports Keeta. Oh, I really don't like this website's layout. Why did they write an article about Brie Larson? This looks like a sports website. They have like why did they make a Brie Larson video? Their topics are WWE, AEW, which is another wrestling league, UFC, NBA, NFL, Fortnite, GTA, Esports, Cricket, Premier League. Why does this website have an article about Brie Larson? Oh, no. Anyway.
Referred to a news article which seemed to promote Brie Larson. Apparently, her YouTube is dwindling a bit, and now the mainstream media is trying to revive it. You see this article on Polygon.
Polygon is not the mainstream media. That bothers me more than almost anything else he says in these videos. Oh, Polygon, mainstream media. No one knows what Polygon is except for people on the internet who know of it. And even then, the majority of the people on the internet still don't know about Polygon. I've only ever heard of it. You know the first time I ever read a Polygon article was? When Jeremy mentioned it in that video and I had to go look at it. Like, no one uses Polygon.
A bizarre time to write this Brie Larson article. I wonder why. Why is Polygon another outlet simply for Brie Larson? He then speaks to the declining views. He sums up the video by taking one final shot at Polygon, stunning a brave worship.
No one over the age of 45 knows what Polygon is. Well, Jeremy does. And he's like 40, so that's pretty close.
Brie Larson, multi-millionaire, Hollywood, powerful Hollywood celebrity, needs you to sim for her. Check out other reactions. Really cool that greedy millionaire Hollywood celebrities feel the need to take ad revenue from creators on YouTube.
Oh my god, Jeremy. Brie Larson having a YouTube channel is not taking away views and money from other people. Holy shit, Jeremy. Jeremy, you of all people, especially considering it's giving you so much more Brie Larson content to talk about, and it's given me so much Jeremy Brie Larson content to talk about, it's done quite the opposite. It's been a windfall for channels like you, Jeremy, so stop acting like it's not.
Is this really what Polygon content is coming to? These are all responses to the article. Yes, spoiled actress making millions, making a YouTube channel against the trolls is unparalleled levels of stunning and brave. Okay, check this. Polygon posted this article. Brie Larson's laid-back YouTube channel is a radical act of anti-troll defiance. They're really trying to make it seem like she's against the world, like an underdog. I say she wouldn't be against the world had she not offended it.
Someone said my opinion didn't matter, and now I'm gonna cry for 4 years about it.
Well, it's
Jeremy, your opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't, and neither does mine. No one's opinion matters anymore. The world is dead. Stop making videos about Brie Larson.
Possible. It's definitely possible. And now we've got a new rumor. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel to appear in a Disney Plus series?
They're making a Nick Fury series, so it would make sense for her to show up at least once because they were friends.
That's where Captain Marvel has got? She's sunk to Disney Plus? Say it isn't so,
What? Jeremy? A bunch of the movie actors and actresses are being in Disney Plus shows. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier are going to have their own Disney Plus show. Mark Ruffalo is going to be in She-Hulk. What other shows are they doing? They're doing a Miss Marvel series. It wouldn't surprise me if Brie Larson showed up in that, or maybe they'll just wait until a movie and put Miss Marvel in a Captain Marvel movie. I don't know. But like a bunch of the Marvel actors are doing Loki. Loki's getting his own show. It's not a downgrade, Jeremy. They're getting paid like a ridiculous amount of money for probably fewer shooting days. So they're probably making more money, relatively speaking. And Jeremy, aren't you the first person to go to bat for like The Mandalorian, which is a really good show? Like, what? You can't just like be like, all Star Wars is trash except for The Mandalorian, and then also be like, but Brie Larson's going on Disney Plus where The Mandalorian is, so it means she's slumming it. Like, come on, bud. Be a little consistent. They're getting ready to bring in Kid Loki at some point. Maybe. I think the Loki show involves time travel in some way, so it's possible.
Captain Marvel. This via Bounding in a Comic says, sources indicate that Larson will either guest or cameo in an episode, probably the final installment as it's developed to lead into Captain Marvel 2.
That would make sense. They're also doing a thing with WandaVision. I assume you guys saw the trailer for WandaVision. If you didn't, check it out. It looks interesting. That's supposed to lead into Doctor Strange 2. It seems like Disney is definitely trying to do like their TV show stuff and having it like lead into and be related to the movies. Just as much as the movies are to each other, at least.
He then hints that his source will also detail that Larson's Captain Marvel might not be the only Avenger to appear in the show. Sutton explains she might not be the only Avenger. The rumor also follows a separate rumor from Variety that indicated a Disney Plus series was in development starring Samuel L. Jackson. The rumor detailed that Jackson would reprise his role.
Like, Jeremy, do you think that Samuel L. Jackson, one of the most sought-after actors in Hollywood, is slumming it because he's on Disney Plus? Or do you think that Disney is intent on building their streaming platform and so they're writing blank checks to these people? Which seems more likely to you, Jeremy, that Samuel L. Jackson, out of the goodness of his heart, is going to, like, downgrade himself, or Disney is putting a bunch of money into creating premier movie-quality TV shows on their streaming service? Cascadian 93, AEW is the superior of all those organizations. They have a trans woman, Nyla Rose, in their women's division, and a genderqueer NB person, Sunny Kiss, in their tag team division. We stan AEW. I've heard they're a lot better to their employees than WWE, who doesn't even treat them as employees. I guess they're private contractors, which seems silly.
As the one-eyed clandestine ops commander, Nick Fury from the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Variety's rumor including Nick Fury show follows previous rumors that it has dated to at least 2 years ago. Back in 2018, scooper Jeremy Conrad ran a rumor that claimed Nick Fury would be involved in an upcoming Disney Plus show. Well, I'm sure. And, you know, if Captain Marvel has been reduced to appearing on a Disney Plus...
Jeremy, why are you phrasing it as reduced? It's not reduced. She's doing it on top of Captain Marvel 2. Is Nick Fury reduced to doing a TV show? Or do you think they're trying to put their movie people in the TV shows in order to, like, build up the base of their Disney Plus streaming service? Same thing with The Mandalorian. They got Baby Yoda, who isn't a real actor, but people are like, oh, look, it's Yoda. And they have a bunch of other people on that show. Werner Herzog is in The Mandalorian, which is so weird. Jeremy, I know you're mad. I know you're still salty that you were wrong about Captain Marvel, and you continue to be. But, bud, please stop. Please stop. Like, how shitty are you gonna feel when Captain Marvel 2 comes out and still makes a bunch of money? You're gonna feel like a jackass. Why double down on the mistake you know you already made, is my question. Just very odd.
I, for one, as Captain Marvel's #1 super fan, will make sure that I pay the, what is it, $8 a month and sign up for Disney Plus the second I hear that any confirmation about her cameo on the new channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Oh, God. Jeremy hurts me physically with how embarrassing he is. Like, I'm not trying to exaggerate for humor. It gives me this, like, this butterfly feeling in my stomach that I get this, like, secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, oh God, Jeremy, stop. Every time you speak, you just make it worse for when you get proven wrong. It's so bad. Jeremy's an embarrassing person. On an unrelated note, hey, if you want to subscribe to Brie Larson's YouTube channel, here's a link. Anyway, let's move on, at least for now. Maybe we'll come back to Jeremy later.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dude spanking dudes with Ted bits. Did he just say he will cancel his Disney Plus sub if Brie shows up? I think he was saying no, he was gonna get one if Brie shows up. I saw the video where he got so drunk he can't stand. Yeah, I did see that. It's on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Oh boy. Should we try and do Lord of Patriarchy or no BS? What should we do first? Lord of Patriarchy or no BS? What do you guys think? I need to figure out how to do polls. How do we do polls on here? I'll figure this out. Hold on. Give me a sec. I gotta figure out how to do a poll. Give me a sec, and I will do so. I'm gonna go to Twitch chat. Doon 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 doon.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Thank you, Ada Blue for following, and Sasha Darling with 25 bits. Thank you.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
How do I do a poll on Twitch? How to do poll on
capitalism.
Twitch. We're gonna make this official. Redacted 420, thank you for following. And Malky the Evil Wizard with 50 bits. Thanks.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Polls can be created by streamers and voted on by viewers. Polls are a great way for streamers to gauge feedback. Excuse me. That's voting, creating poll. Oh, okay, I gotta go to my thing. Let me switch this so you can't see my dashboard, because it's none of your business. Creator dashboard. Oh, wait, did someone else already do it? Did a mod do it because I'm very, very stupid? It's already there. Okay. Do the thing. Folks, vote in the poll that's on the thing. It's in the chat. That's the word. I'm good at words. Me do big word good. Me do good words. Wow, Lord of Cringe is absolutely blowing out no BS. It's not even close. Holy crap.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The clocks have spoken. Cascadian93, for a business steeped in more hyper-masculine traditions and unspoken rules, AEW is the most progressive programming of its kind. Well, that's good. I don't like wrestling. Like, I don't care. I don't dislike it. I don't have anything against wrestling. I'm not a fan. Lord of Cringe. Okay, Lord of Cringe wins. It's not even close. Let me make sure, or not Lord... yeah, Lord of Cringe. He's really known as Lord of Patriarchy, but yeah. Let me see if this is a recent... Is there a more recent one or what? I don't know. Ooh, he's live right now.
How about trying to rebuild the black nuclear family? And I'm an atheist
How about-
Sandwich, by the way.
Oh god, is he talking to someone live? Yikes. Okay, this is from a day ago. So, a day ago he made another video about Jake. I shouldn't get in the middle of this because this is between Jake and he, but I find this so funny, so I'm gonna watch it anyway. This guy is a chud, a libertarian, and a person who doesn't know how clocks work. He did a thing a while back where you see how he has these clocks in his background. You can see him a little better in the forefront, the most recent one. But like, did he fix them yet? Let me look. He thinks that time zones go by half-an-hour intervals and not an hour. There are some places on the planet where it's half an hour, but most of them aren't. So he had, like, all these clocks, almost all of them, set to the wrong time, and then when Jake corrected him, he was like, Google how time zones work, bro! And then he Googled how time zones works, and he realized he was wrong. It was hilarious. So, let's see how this goes, I guess. That's always good. I like a stream to start with. Just silence and then that's always a good noise.
Okay, welcome to the actual Jake the Boring Corn Cob cast.
Is that the best he's got? Actual Jake, the Boring Corn Cob. Got him! The Boring Corn Cob. That's not even a pun. It's not even a pun. That's sad.
I gotta be right back. I forgot a beer. I'll be right back.
Why does he always do this? Skip ahead to when he gets back. Oh my god, how long does it take?
Okay, so this is actual Jake's
There's
latest
nothing funny
video
about
to
the tools
me.
of capitalism.
Cascadia 93, gotta get more Coors.
The first 20 minutes of it or so are him just obsessing over my clocks.
Because they're wrong! Ah!
Which is like, dude, you're more obsessed with the clocks than I am.
I apparently, is obsession the same thing as recognizing that your clocks are wrong? What's the point of the clock if it's set wrong? Is it like some sort of postmodern art piece you're attempting? Ooh, yes, I am, doing a study on, the purpose of objects when their purpose becomes, misused. I somehow doubt it. It's just hilarious that you act like you know everything, but you don't even know a basic fact, like how time zones work. And it's so weird to me, too, because, like, if I'm setting a bunch of clocks, even I wouldn't try and be like, okay, well, it's 5:17 here right now, which is the actual time where I am. And I'm setting a clock for London, and that's +5 or +6, I don't remember, or negative, I don't know. Again, I don't know. You know what I do when I'm setting a clock? If I was setting it for a different time zone, I would Google time in London, and I would set the clock, and I'd do the same for every other clock. It's just so weird that you apparently had the confidence to do the time zone, like, exchange yourself, but you don't even know how time zones work in most places. It's wild. Don't you know it's manly to be wrong and confident that you're right? Apparently. Hannah really wants Lord of Patriarchy to react to her. Oh, I don't really care either way. If you wanted to, it'd be pretty funny, but...
Okay, I bought these from Walmart for like $3 each.
Yeah, and you set them wrong. It's not about the fact that the clocks exist. It's fine. You're gonna set dress the way you want to do. It's the fact that you set them all wrong. Do you not understand why people are so, like, obsessed with the clock thing? Because that's why.
I have to actually replace some of them because they're broken, because they're pieces of shit from Walmart.
Devious Chillster with 25 bits. My favorite bit is that all he has to do to save face is just admit he didn't actually give a damn, and then everyone would accept. Right! No one cares if you make a mistake. Like, I've done dumb stuff like that, too. All you'd have to be is like, oh, yeah, I did set those wrong. I wasn't thinking about it. That was dumb. Whoops. And then no one, it might get mentioned occasionally, but that's it. Like, people get over it. It's the fact that you're like, no, I'm right. I know what the time zones are. That's what gets to people.
They are props. Okay, I'm not running a fucking logistics company. Why are...
Do you need to run a logistics company in order to set your clocks correctly? Because it's not like you set them randomly. You set them to what you thought were the correct times.
Are you so obsessed with my clocks?
Because it's illustrative of how stupid you are, and how willing to die on a hill of wrongness you are, and it's very, very funny.
I don't care if they're accurate or not!
That's what he's going with? It sure seemed like it, because when you got called on it the first time, you went and Googled time zones to prove yourself right, and in doing so, you proved yourself wrong. So, this seems like a further retreat to be like, haha, I got all of you. I was only pretending to be incredibly stupid. Andrew Dickerson, I'm pretty sure he either put the clocks at random times or just put them up with the same times as they were set when he bought them. They weren't, though. They definitely weren't. Because, like, they're set to different time zones, or what he thought were. There's labels under them for, like, New York, London, whatever, and they were set. Some of them are dead now, apparently, but, like, many of them were set correctly in the sense that it was, like, the same as each other in terms of, like, minute hand, but they weren't correct in the way that, like, they were correct based on actual, like, Greenwich Mean Time relative to other locations on the world. Does that make sense?
Like, seriously, I don't give a shit. Oh, and then he acts shocked that I make the joke about looking like the creepy guy with the rape van. Oh my god, self-deprecating humor.
Devious Chillster 25 bits, no Lord of Clocks. You can't do the excuse after like 4 times of defending how wrong they are now. His brain is so smooth and full of hot air, I'm certain it'd count as a non-stick pan. That's good.
The hallmark of the leftist. Like, seriously, they can't handle self-deprecating humor.
What? Jake has done self-deprecating humor plenty of times, as do I. That's a weird falsehood to try and spread. Did you not see the other day when I made fun of you and I showed my 7 head? No? Okay.
Because the reason is they take themselves way too seriously. Anyway.
Yes, as we can see from Jake here, in his professional corn suit, clearly, leftists, we take ourselves too seriously.
Let's see if I even care.
Let's see. You spend... How much of this video do you spend talking about Jake? You spend an hour and a half. Methinks you care. He dresses in a corn suit, yeah. But it's a serious corn suit, guys. That's Jake's business suit. That's just the truth, okay? When Jake pops on that corn suit, that's his power suit. That's his Hillary Clinton in like a sharp blazer. That's his power suit. And how dare you make fun of it, okay?
Yeah. They can be off by half an hour, dude.
Yeah. Oh, you fucking... Come on, dude. Come on, man. Don't... You don't pretend that isn't an L, dude. You cannot pretend that's not an L. You...
Okay, I'll tell you what. In the spirit of YouTube, sportsman video, whatever, fine, I took an L on the fucking clocks like I get...
Oh, good. He admitted it. He's doing it sarcastically, but I'll take that.
Give a rat's ass. Yeah, I'll be crying into my beer over that.
There's nothing funny
You
about
just
the
have to
tools of
take it and be like,
capitalism.
I didn't fucking know that. Oh well, who gives a shit? It's
Maya's board says, I work at a museum. Corn suits are mandatory for us. It's a very serious place, of course. Obviously. Cascadia 93 with
There's
25
nothing
bits.
funny
Ladies
about
and
the tools of
gentlemen,
capitalism.
we got him.
ended the clocks. I set them up. I Googled time zones. That's what they showed.
No, but that's not the case, bud. That's not what happened. Why are you mischaracterizing this? You had the clocks set to completely wrong times that were offset by a half an hour. I don't know about the hour hand. I didn't look at that. But the minute hand was off in many cases by at least a half an hour because for some reason you seem to be under the belief that time zones go by half-hour increments. In some places they do, but it's quite rare. Most time zone differences are an hour apart. And if you had just Googled when you set the clocks, London time zone, or London time, you could have done that, but it seems like you set one, and then you're like, well, I'll just offset by half an hour each other one, because they're like time zone after time zone. And you were wrong, and that's fine. That's fine. It's fine to be wrong. Just say, I set the clocks wrong. That's all. That's why you're being made fun of, because you're dying on this hill, and it's a very stupid hill to die on.
I don't fucking care.
literally pointless. It's literally pointless. It was something dumb that I cared about. That not that you could have just been
for
like,
some reason
yeah, I
you
don't know. I
still
bought
There are only like 2 places where the time zone is offset by half an hour, though. Yeah, let's see where they are. Time zones off by half hour. Let me see which ones. Newfoundland, Iran, India, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, the Marquesas, as well as parts of Australia use half-hour deviations. So, most places in the world do not, but there's a short list that do. But everything else goes by an hour. Everything else goes by an hour.
them and I put them up. I didn't look at it. Who gives a shit? Like, you fucking... Who gives... Instead, he's like, he really genuinely cares that the clocks work. It's amazing. Oh, Arxeno, thanks for gifting one to Illin Villain. Oh my god, dude. Oh.
Turks.
Okay.
Get rated.
We're excited.
First up is the Queen Bee herself,
I don't know Young Turks very much.
Anna Kasparian.
Ah, I know her.
She is kind of tough to judge, what with all the fucking plastic surgery she's had.
Oh. His basement is cosplaying as an airport. I had a few drinks. We need to say that Papa Bird Jake is best friend. Hey, thanks, Cupcake. Appreciate you. has
But
plastic
I'll
surgery.
go New York Strip and 5 beers if she keeps her mouth shut. I'm gonna need 25 if she talks.
What's the New York Strip part? Like, is that the dinner that she has to pay for?
No, that's the cut of meat that I put her hotness next to. Oh, we can see the salt in the offense horizon.
I've seen salty Jake. Jake is not salty at this moment.
We found out later what it is, but this is just fucking amazing.
The fact that I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. That's why I made an 1.5 hour response to your response to my video. That makes sense.
Pretty okay. I feel like I need to breathe.
I hate one of my pet peeves is when people say they don't care. It's a pet peeve when people are doing like this kind of thing for a hobby or for a living or whatever. If it's something you do regularly and you're like, I don't care though. I don't care. It's like a way to disassociate yourself from what you're currently doing. Bud, I would never say I don't care. I just wouldn't, because I would look like an idiot for saying so. If I spend an hour or 30 minutes or even 10 minutes watching your video and trying to either refute things you're saying or just straight up making fun of you, whatever it happens to be, I clearly care. Like, there was the same thing when I covered Jeremy. I would never be like, oh, Jeremy made another video, I don't care. I care deeply. I'm Jeremy's biggest fan.
There's nothing funny about the
I
tools
wouldn't
of
watch
capitalism.
these things if I didn't care at all. Devious Chillster with 25 bits. If anything, Jake is getting buttered for the smackdown of some toasted wheat. Maya is bored. What kind of meta thing is this? You watch a reaction to a reaction to a reaction? After this, I don't think I'm going to do another one of these. Specifically because, A, I'm sure Jake wants to go back and forth on this, and that's hilarious. But this guy just annoys me. I'll probably cover other things from this guy, but this is the last time I'll cover the him covering him, covering him, covering him, covering him, covering him, covered by me. Because it gets confusing, and it's also just ridiculous.
Oxygen tank. Holy shit. Anna is pretty, though. Yeah, that's the New York Strip. It's a good cut of meat, I guess. He thinks she's a...
It's okay. But Anna ain't that fucking pretty. Okay? This is a professionally done photo.
See, okay, and here's the thing, too. Lord of Patriarchy claims multiple times in one of his videos, like, Jake thought I was being serious. What a moron. And then here he is, defending what he said, because clearly it isn't a joke. Jokes aren't just when you say offensive things. As much as certain chuds seem to think so, just saying something that you actually believe that is offensive isn't a joke. That's not what jokes are. You don't get to, in this window down here, say, haha, you're so stupid, corn man. You have taken me seriously. And then down in this video, going, oh, but actually, let me defend what I said because I actually truly believe this. Do you see the contradiction?
Have you seen her on the Young Turks lately?
Good cut of meat. And this is how many drinks he has to have to be attracted to Anna Kasparian.
Jake pulls up your pics in this one. Oh, God.
Well, if she keeps her mouth shut.
How far in does he do it, though? Because, like, I'm not watching this whole hour and a half thing. No way. We'd be here all night. So I might not even see that part.
Looking.
Don't you do it! Don't you do it!
Do what? Have mercy, Pop. I almost died.
If it does come up, I can also skip it if you'd like, that specific section.
Jesus Christ.
Because I'm sure that's very annoying.
Now you're being a bad male feminist ally!
Wait, what? How is this? How is being a bad... Does he think that being a feminist means you have to think that everyone is attractive? Like
Basically, yeah, you're the idiots that have to go, oh, every woman's beautiful, even if she's the 600-pound slob known as Tess Holiday.
What? Since when is that a leftist position? It's a pretty left position, and I think a progressive position to be like, hey, we shouldn't outwardly insult people based on their looks, but I'm not saying you literally need to say to every person, I just think you're the most beautiful thing ever. You're going to be attracted to certain people, and you're going to be not attracted to other people, and that's perfectly fine. But making, like, a YouTube video series where you're putting up pictures of people, whether they're men or women, for that matter, and saying, this is the cut of meat that I think stands in for who they are as a human being in terms of attractiveness, and how much alcohol you think you need to drink in order to sleep with them, which is hilarious coming from you. I'm just going to put that out there. This guy, can I just put a piece of advice for Lord of Patriarchy, okay? Lord of Patriarchy, I get it. I also have 5 head struggles. I understand. Have you guys seen how giant my forehead is? It's humongous. I have the benefit where I can do bangs, right? They're not great right now, but like, if I actually took the time and did my hair, I can have bangs, and it covers it, and that's nice. It doesn't seem like that's an option for Lord of Cringe. Fine. What you should do then, bud, is probably commit to the bald. Just shave it all off. I think it would be a better look. This is just a personal opinion, and you can take it or leave it. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not going to compare you to a slab of meat. Because I'm a leftist. Apparently we have to think everyone is beautiful. So you're beautiful, Lord of Patriarchy. But you'd be more beautiful if you were completely bald.
There's nothing funny about the
Stellar
tools
Sea
of
Cow,
capitalism.
would you like to donate some of your 5 head? I'm out here with 2 head, and it's a different struggle. He's got the Hulk Hogan mullet. Yeah. That doesn't work on most people. Have something that's actually beautiful. What is... Oh, God. Hold on. Let me switch off the camera, because I have no idea what these links are going to be. Oh, it's a kitty. It's a kitty. Good. That is a cute kitty. Devious Chillster with 50 bits. Dude would actually look much better bald and without a beard. He could probably pull off a bear, okay, as long as he, like, improves his personality to the point that he's literally an entirely different person. Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you guys the kitty in a sec. Daddy Sume sent me these kitty pictures. Kitty! Kitty.
Every woman is attractive. What?
Dude, you're the one who spent an hour on me.
And you spent an hour and a half on him. If that's how we're gonna judge how much one cares about something, I guess you care more. By half an hour. That's 50% more.
I mean, fellas, is it gay? Is it gay to look at a lady and go, you know what? There's a lady? Like, what's wrong? Are we upset?
And you certainly shit. And you certainly can't grade them on looks. Oh no, and you certainly can't compare them to pieces of meat.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Like, unironically, again, no one's telling you you can't find certain people attractive and other people unattractive. That's part of being a human. Like, you look at certain people and you're like, I am attracted to that person, or you get to know that person and you're like, I am attracted to that person because of their looks and their personality, or one or the other, or whatever. You can also, on the other hand, go, I am not attracted to that person for one reason or another. There could even be people out there that you think are gross. That's perfectly within your power. The problem is when that thought in your head swirls around for a while, and then it comes out of your mouth, and you go, I think this person is disgusting, and if I wanted to put my pee-pee in her, I would need this many beers. That's where it becomes an issue. The part where it goes from a thought in your head, which you're perfectly fine and able to have, to let me publicly shame this person on the internet for laughs, that's the difference.
Dumbass.
Got him.
Alright.
Said he was a dumbass. There's no coming back from that. That's the height of intellectual superiority.
Close enough.
Are we upset? What's wrong with Anna Kasparian?
Yeah, but put her next to Taylor Swift.
What? What? Dave! Your options are not Anna Kasparian or Taylor Swift.
Oh my god! I think this guy seems to think that I'm sitting there going, yeah, tonight I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have me a burger, and somehow I'm gonna have my choice between Taylor Swift and Anna.
Right, but, like, you get that it's more pathetic that that's not something that's gonna happen, right? Like, he's laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation. The fact that you're sitting in your room getting drunk next to clocks that are set wrong, and you're rating women on slabs of meat, women that you're never going to meet, much less women that wouldn't find you repulsive, is kind of hilariously depressing. Like, it's not funny, because it's not a joke, it's just your genuine opinions that happen to be disgusting. And, oh god, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Shit. It's pathetic. God damn it. I lost my train of thought.
Anna Kasparian, all while not leaving the confines of Minnesota.
Yeah, that's sadder. That's very, very sad that you feel the need. Oh, I was going to say something along the lines of, there's a compounding issue on this. Something along the lines of those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not even a good example. Those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones at even normal houses, because let's be honest, your house is a lot more vulnerable than the other house. That's how I would put it. he is rating what I would say, in my opinion, and again, I'm not, you know what, no, I'm not going to say my opinion, because it's not relevant. He's taking time out of his day to literally make a video that he said took at least an hour to make, which is fine, but it's just weird. Rating women that he finds unattractive and saying it would take so many beers for him to sleep with this woman. Women that, by general social standards, are much more attractive than himself. Like, at minimum, the women he's talking to aren't obese. And I say this as a fatty. So take that with, like, whatever you have to say. Like, dude, you come off as incredibly pathetic when you try and rate people who, by society standards at least, are more attractive than yourself. It would be pathetic if you were just as attractive or more attractive, but it's even sadder the way it is now. There's no amount of trying to play it off as a joke that makes it not pathetic. And I don't think you get that.
But if I put a poll, who's hotter, Anna Kasparian or Taylor Swift is gonna win that motherfucker.
And it's weird that you're even having that conversation. Like, why does anyone care what you think?
Like, oh my god. Comedy dies on the left.
Again, just saying offensive things that you think isn't a joke.
Thoughts on Trump having COVID? Can we just have the space ants come and enslave humanity already? Please.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Or can the simulation reset? Please.
Captain
He'll most
Zeo,
likely
thank
be
you for following.
fine. If Joe Biden gets it, he'll blame it on Trump.
I mean, if Joe Biden gets it, he probably would have gotten it from Trump at the debate. But, like, do you?
I don't believe the conspiracy theory that he did this to get out of a debate with Biden. I don't believe that for a second. He'll be fine. I mean, he is 70... I think he's 74. And he is overweight, which are morbidities, but he's got, like, the CIA super drugs, for Christ's sakes, that, like, stop death itself in its tracks.
No, that doesn't exist for COVID. Sorry to break it to you, bud.
Little Hassan in there for you if you need it. Real question is this: you know why people have multiple clocks? Did some of them die and you just didn't reset them? Did you not know what to set them to? Did he get trolled? I have so many questions. I don't know. He's got a lot of things going on. Anyway, so apparently this guy, who has a lot of sexual options in real life, this fella has tons of sexual options, okay?
There's nothing funny about the
He was
tools
like,
of
if Anna
capitalism.
Kasparian hits on me, I'm not even going to try. 5 beers minimum, and you're paying. Okay.
Well, yeah, especially if she talks about
The Stellar Sea Cow, that only exists for Dick Cheney, but he is also Satan, so...
politics.
Alrighty.
Next up, we have Ada Rodriguez.
Okay.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go Eye of Round, and
There's
probably
nothing
about
funny about the tools
That's
of
Devious
capitalism.
Chillster. Okay, even if they did exist, the fact that they exist would mean the government knows how bad it is and developed super drugs for it, which puts Trump squarely at the fault of... Sorry, the thing scrolled. Which puts Trump solely,
nothing funny
squarely
about the
at the
tools of
fault, you
capitalism.
mirror-brained numpty. Yikes. Mitchell Drummer with 10 bits. Did you guys ever notice that Jake sounds like Ben Shapiro whenever he's on 1.5 times speed? That's just what Ben Shapiro sounds like. He sounds like someone speaking at fast speed. He speaks really fast to hide the fact that his, like, commentary is awful and his reasoning is specious most of the time.
For beers. Jake, I can't. I'm going to stab him with a
God.
knife and let the cores and grease flow out in Minecraft. So it's the cut of beef. That's weird. This is interesting. I already forgot her name. Ada Rodriguez? There we go. I did it.
I'd like to point out the reason I think I'm going to stop responding to him is one, he's boring, but two, it's like right.
Yeah, that's why he has... Let's do a quick check. Let's see. Actual Jake. Twitch. You'd say many things about Jake. I would say positive things because I'm Jake's friend. What do you know? I'm biased. But Jake has 10,000 followers on Twitch, which for Twitch is like pretty friggin' good. His things have thousands of views. He skids. Jake is many things. Jake is not boring. Okay?
Now, I am responding to his response, to my response, to his response of my video grading. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're getting a little meta here. We're getting a little Inception-y here. Should it be illegal to sell any energy drinks to anyone under the age of 18? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But, I mean, if it's like some super high, like, maximum legal amount of caffeine, then okay, maybe we can put some restrictions on it.
Ada Rodriguez.
I don't
Okay.
young Turks.
I'm getting a lot of different people here. I get this.
Oh my god.
There we go. Okay. Look, I don't know. Look. A little bit older than me, it seems. But I mean, if you're into bazongas, I think you've made the right choice here. If you're into bazongas, you could do worse. Just tossing that out there. That's not a bad look at all. I don't know these. I don't watch the Young Turks. This is the first time for me.
Alright, that's a little mean, but I'm gonna read it anyway. This dude's chat hasn't scrolled yet, and he's calling Jake boring. No kidding.
I don't know. Again,
How long has this guy been doing stuff? He has 8.41 thousand subscribers or something. 8.42. I'm curious why he's streaming like on YouTube and not on Twitch. Does he also have a Twitch channel? Okay, I'm just gonna go to the top and do oldest first. 2 years ago. So his videos in 2 years, he's gotten 8.42 thousand subscribers. And his live streams are getting so few views that where's the video? I lost it already. 11 minutes into the video, this is how many chats he has. And a lot of them are just the same person. That's pretty sad.
and I feel like this guy shouldn't be.
Okay, so I had a bunch of his fans pop up.
You did? Right in here?
He does
One
have
of
a
act-
Twitch.
No,
Lord of Patriarchy on Twitch. Wow, wowie, wow. 47 followers. You're nailing it, Lord of Patriarchy. Wow, I have more followers on Twitch than you. That's a little depressing.
my video.
No, I don't see. Well, maybe he'll show us. Maybe
This
he'll
guy
show
at
us.
this point should be like at any point in the storm.
I like to point out that he's doing the "they're a piece of meat" thing, ironically, which is still pretty misogynistic. I mean, he knows he's misogynistic. I don't have to.
See, I don't even know if I agree with Jake's assessment here. Yes, Lord of Patriarchy is saying it's ironic. But in what is ironic about what he's doing? What's ironic about what he's doing here? He's just doing it and then saying, I'm doing this ironically. Like it's not ironic, right? What's ironic about rating women in a way that you think is accurate and then comparing them to a piece of meat? That's not irony just because you say it is. You need to have an actual element of irony for that to happen.
I'm not misogynistic. I love women. That's why I take the good time and trouble to grade them. You don't get the joke.
There is no joke! There has to be a joke for there to be a joke to get. Just doing a thing that is offensive is not a joke in and of itself.
Oh my god.
There's no. Yes. Yeah. We agree. We agree that he's misogynistic. It's not really.
Again, if I hated women, I wouldn't take the good time and trouble to grade them.
If you repeat that, do you think it becomes funny? No. Objectifying women is clearly having no respect for them. Objectifying men in the same way, also pretty disrespectful. I'm not saying you can't appreciate how people look. I'm bisexual. There are tons of people that I look at and be like, hey, that person's attractive. But I tend to keep that to myself because I'm an adult human who doesn't feel the need to go on the internet and compare other adult people to pieces of meat. Weirdly, it requires no energy to just not do that. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Me flashing people, ironically, is not a joke. It's just me committing a crime, you know?
No! Wait, why am I checking Twitter?
Because
Am I
you don't
checking
know what
Twitter
you're doing?
because of Singing to Death's clock wall? Why am I checking Twitter, Sarah? Is it juicy? Because I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this right here. Fix your fucking clock. Fix your clocks. Fix them. Memes.
I should get more clocks now.
If you get more, set them right this time. That'd be good.
That's actually pretty good. He's more obsessed with my clocks than he is. Dude,
You just said he's more obsessed with my clocks than he is. I assume you mean he's more obsessed with my clocks than I am. Clearly, it seems like you put negative thought into them considering they're all set wrong.
you know you can buy these exact clocks at Walmart for like $3.50 a piece.
If he did, he'd probably set them correctly and it wouldn't be an issue.
This
Jake, go buy... You have the money to do this as a joke. Go to Walmart and buy a bunch of clocks and put them on your wall and set them correctly. Please.
is, let's see, 350 or let's see, 7, 14, 28 bucks, maybe 30 with tax. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe you can get your mom to drive you to Walmart so you can pick up some fucking clocks. Don't know where you're gonna get the 30 bucks from though, but I believe in you.
Again, making fun of Jake... That out of all the avenues to make fun of, calling Jake poor... That's not a good one to do. That's gonna fall on deaf ears.
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. Oh my god,
There's
dude.
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll just mail
Let's go
him
back.
the clocks.
Wow, I know, we're all gonna be ripped as fuck after this. Our abs are gonna be nuts.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, God.
Like, water's rough out there for this fella. Picking up what I'm throwing down? Like, you got, you know.
I don't know.
Hey, can we give kudos, chat? In this video, he was wearing a Pac-Man shirt. And in the video responding to Jake's response, he was wearing the same Pac-Man shirt. He actually wore a new shirt in this one. So, he does own 2 shirts. Good job. It's ironic, considering I wear the same shirt a lot. So I get it, but...
If let's say Trump can't be president and it's Pence, God, this close to the election, that would probably shatter the Trump voter confidence. I don't know. I think Biden would actually... Well, it wouldn't be Biden. It'd be Harris. Let's be completely honest. God, I think... Ugh.
Next up is Emma Vigland. And
I don't care about his commentary on Trump getting the Rona.
she might want to watch her ass because, as you'll see, there's going to be a kind of a unique trait among most of the ladies no longer affiliated with TYT anyway.
Okay.
But considering she doesn't want to wear makeup for some reason, I don't know, internalized misogyny or something.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with, I give her about the same rate as Anna, New York Strip, and about 5 beers if she doesn't talk, about 25 if she talks.
Huh. It's just sad, man. Just like...
Her ramble was just a gorilla.
True Trans Soul, thanks for following. It's just like we.
You know, I knew the second I sent him this video, he'd make a video on.
Who's? I don't. Did he send me this video?
Yes, I did over Twitter.
Am I not understand what? When did he send me this? I got it from.
Oh God. Twitter.
Just because you sent it to him doesn't mean you're the person who sent it to him and got him to actually watch it. I'd imagine Jake, like myself, gets videos relatively often in their Twitter mentions to do on stuff like Twitch. And sometimes multiple people will send the same video. That doesn't necessarily mean that you were the person that sent it to him that he noticed.
Ever. What the fuck?
We're almost done doing this, by the way. I'm sure Jake will cover this at length on his stream. So you don't need reruns, but...
Being bullied? Holy shit, that's the... There it is. There it is. Whoa. Secret fetish account. Secret fetish account. It's an incredibly elaborate con. True, clever.
You're talking about fetishes and you're wearing a corn cob costume.
That's almost a joke? That's almost a joke. Like, corncob outfit equals fetish. I get that there's a potential for a joke there, but I feel like you have, like, 65% of a joke, and someone else needs to construct the other 45%.
I knew it. I got this guy to devote 28 minutes of his life to a video that took me, I think, maybe an hour to make.
I'm sure Jake has already made the corn fetish joke, because that's like one of the first jokes you'd make. If you're like, I'm doing the corn theme, I have a corn suit. That's like in the first 24 hours of when you get the corn suit and you're doing it on stream, you make the corn fetish joke. Come on.
Except you don't realize that 28 minutes of my time.
And now tack on the 90 minutes you're spending, all for a video I made deliberately.
You're also doing this! You cannot criticize other people for paying attention to this when you are paying just as much attention!
I make those videos very infrequently, and I make them deliberately to piss people like you off.
I was only acting stupid. Joke's on you for thinking I'm stupid for acting stupid.
Was worth a decent amount of money.
That's true. Jake makes money doing this. Jake makes really good money doing this. What is Lord of Patriarchy's excuse? Because there's no way he's making enough for a living, right? Like, on Twitch, for instance, I have almost 3,000 Twitch followers. My streams, you know, they average between lower 100s, higher 100s in terms of views. Jake can get up to like 500 viewers, you know what I mean? Like, at minimum, you have to be pulling like viewership that I have in order to make a decent amount of money, like enough to help pay bills and stuff. What is Lord of Patriarchy doing this for, considering he isn't doing it for money? Jake literally made like 600 right after that. That sounds about right. He had 800 after the raid the other day. I did. I was watching his stream the other day. I don't remember. What did he cover? He covered Abby Shapiro singing Phantom of the Opera. He covered Lord of Patriarchy, and he covered a couple other things. That was a fun stream. I need to hang out in Jake's stream more. But Yeah, the dude's like relatively popular on politics Twitch. He makes decent money. I don't get what Lord of Patriarchy's getting out of it. You deserve more. I only started like 5 months ago. I continue to grow as a channel both on YouTube and on Twitch. I'm sure I'll continue to gain an audience, and that's fine. I should have started Twitch the same time as Jake. Honestly. That would have been nice, but I was having a lot of problems at the time. I continue to, but like it's a little better than it used to be. Especially considering I'm out and actually on hormones and stuff, which makes me feel better. Baddie Bell, wow, thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs. Appreciate that. That's amazing. Thank Baddie Bell, everyone who got a sub. Woo! Maya is bored of 15 bits. Have some more money by taking my last bits. Thank you. Much appreciated. See, like, stuff like this. Jake and I make money on Twitch. Like, this, what is Lord of Patriarchy doing? Just for the love of the game? Just for the love of the weird, misogynistic rating women by meat game? Seems like a weird thing to care about, all things considered.
Nothing funny about the tools
Malachi, the evil wizard. More bits for Hannah. Thank you. You need to start a Twitch? Yeah, it's fun if you have stuff to say.
A golf clap for his wallet.
There's nothing funny
I
about
think he understands how this fucking job works, bro. It's not a waste of my time, dude. You are a fucking... You know, what are those? Remember those? Here, I'll just show you a picture. It's just one of these. It's just one of these. Here. I'll give you a nice big. Look at that.
There's nothing funny about the tools
It's
of
this.
capitalism.
It's the same experience, except I get paid to do it.
That's good.
That's not bad. It's not a bad gig.
There's nothing
How much
funny
you
about
making
the
there,
tools of
champ?
capitalism.
Oh boy. More. It would blow your mind, bud. It would blow your mind.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
In fact, I feel
I mean,
like
and to be brutally honest, if he is making a living at streaming,
He is. He's making...
There's nothing funny about the tools of
good for
capitalism.
him. I don't care.
face. I feel like your
Dr.
face would
Gamble
be
with 20
easily
bits.
photoshopped
Bop
onto
the
that.
doll.
Just toss that out there.
It's just, you know, that channel I don't really give a shit about. I probably
There's
should
nothing funny about
these
the tools
days,
of capitalism.
but it's just, God. Oh my God.
You're gonna have to copy and paste that, not click on it. It won't work. That's one time zone worth of work. Oh fuck!
I'm in this dude's head.
We know he doesn't fuck, right? Like, we know he has this.
Like, you're the one that's constantly making videos on me. I think I've skipped at least 2 of them. I just brought it up today because
Of course you do. You don't make any money doing it.
somebody in my chat said I'd like to see your take on it. I don't even know if I'm going to get to the end of this. I haven't devoted a 90-minute video to you.
You do in this video. It goes for an hour and a half. You covering him. The irony. Palpable.
You're at either the ass end of Games and Beer, a live streaming show I
There's
do,
nothing funny about the tools
where I
of
play video
capitalism.
games for
Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Chris Christie positive for COVID. Keep the streak going, entire Trump cabinet.
3 hours or 2
I think that wasn't that confirmed earlier today. That's not new, but yeah.
hours or whatever the fuck. And then I watched videos at the end of it. You're at the ass end of that.
Just putting this out there. Often during streams, you'll put the headlining video at the end. I don't, because I'm bad at this. But often, if you're like let's say if I were smart, let's say, my the quartering videos are some pretty high view videos. Like, people like watching people make fun of the quartering because he's ridiculous. So, like, this video is titled something about the quartering. If I were smart, instead of doing the quartering first, I would put the quartering at the very end so people watch through the whole stream and don't just leave the second I'm done dunking on Jeremy. So the fact that you're putting Jake at the end doesn't necessarily mean that he's not the draw for people to watch what you're doing. Devious Chillster, Jake makes at the very least enough money to get enough of an education to learn how to set clocks, right? Public kindergarten education is free. Dr. Gamble with 10 bits, yeah, but he doesn't get paid for the 90 minutes, so it's a waste of time. Yeah.
This is the first time I dedicated anything to you, and it ain't even a video.
Experienced human touch in some time, and maybe that's flavoring this shit. But like, come on.
Gee, maybe I'm a little more private about my goddamn personal life. Oh, watch! Wait, he's gonna try to he's gonna try to do this. He's gonna mock me for it.
He's probably gonna. I haven't seen this, but if I'm making fun of that statement, you say something along the lines of, "I think you have to have a personal life first in order for that to even be a factor."
Dave. No, you're not.
I'm not. That's odd.
Just nothing to report.
There you go.
Oh, I've been exposed tonight, for I am not merely an expert on Clockman lore. I am, in fact, Kid Dave.
Come on, bro. At least be honest in the appraisal.
Okay. We've been doing this for 22 minutes. That's enough. I'm sure Jake will cover this maybe in its entirety on his stream. Maybe not. Either way, I want to see how many layers deep Jake can get this. This is the last time I'm going to cover, like, their back and forth on this, just because, like, that's their thing, not mine. But I'll probably cover Lord of Patriarchy in the future. Hello, kitty.
Stream, meet Lupine.
Hey, Loopy. The camera can't see her at all.
This is Lupine's first appearance on camera. She actually let me carry her in here. She is a beautiful dilute calico kitty, and we love her so much. She is very happy with us. She loves her mama and her mommy. I think it's supposed to be lupine like the flower.
Gotta save this guy under Chuds, just so I remember to cover him in the future. What time zone does the kitty live in? We're in Eastern. We are in Eastern. Kitty, do you know how to set a clock? Probably better than Lord of Patriarchy. What else? What else? Okay. So No BS has a video about the new Netflix movie Enola Holmes. For those who don't know, Enola Holmes is it's like a kid's book or young adult. I don't even know. Probably tween. Tween would probably be the age group to put it in. Sort of with like, maybe a little younger than Twilight, but probably older than A Series of Unfortunate Events. Maybe around the same age as A Series of Unfortunate Events, depending on when you read them. Either way, Enola Holmes is the sister of Sherlock Holmes, and she solves mysteries, right? So I hadn't heard of this series prior to the movie, but apparently it's relatively popular. And they also have, shoot, what was I going to search? Oh, Enola Holmes movie. And it's become a Netflix movie produced by and starring Millie Bobby Brown. I thought it was good. I saw it. It was a cute movie. It's a movie for, like, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. It was cute. It's not the best movie ever. It's certainly not a bad movie. It's just okay. It's entertaining if you're, like, a tween. Or an adult who just wants something to sit down and watch for, like, an hour and a half or however long it is. And in it, Superman plays Sherlock Holmes, which is weird because Sherlock Holmes is not buff like that, but I don't really care. Anyway, No BS has a video called Sherlock Holmes Gets a Lady Version, and I assume he's going to be salty about that for some reason.
Hello and welcome back to No BS.
This is the peak of YouTube still image avatars. Just a guy with a bullhead wearing a Make America Great Again hat. It's like self-parody at this point. Thank you, Dr. Gamble, for 200 bits. Appreciate it.
Today we return to talking about the biggest streaming service in the country and perhaps the world. I'm of course talking about Netflix. Netflix has shown itself to be increasingly woke over the years too. More specific.
Wait, which is it? Is it woke or because right-wingers are really flipping out about cuties, probably rightfully so to an extent, but like, so which is it? Is YouTube, or not YouTube, is Netflix woke or are they full of pedophiles? Which is it?
Specifically, over the past year, they've been siding with Democrats, leftists, and their far left ideology for a long...
The Democrats' far left ideology of having a healthcare system where people don't go bankrupt for getting cancer. The horror, the system that every other Western country has. Weird.
Time now. This has been proven by them hiring many former...
Daddy Sume with 10 bits. It's weird because the Doyle estate is suing Netflix for Enola because Sherlock is actually kind and has emotions, which is something characteristic of Doyle's later work, and they're saying that it's copyright infringement because the later works aren't public access or whatever the term is. Yeah, it's very stupid. Incredibly stupid.
Former politicians and current Democratic politicians, including making documentaries with AOC, and both the Obamas, Barack and Michelle, have both had big, long-running contracts with Netflix. This has also come out in the other programming they've made by it getting influenced by them too. Lots of pro-woke, alphabet-themed shows.
Alphabet-themed shows. When he says that, he means there's shows with LGBTQ plus, the word I'm thinking of.
People? Characters?
No. I mean, yes, but that's not the word I'm thinking of. Representation. That's the word.
Drag-centered shows.
And they remade Queer Eye in the past couple of years or something, which I assume is something that he's referencing.
There's been shows with young kids, like we've talked about that Cuties movie and its drama. And today we're talking about...
Cuties isn't a movie for children, you know that, right?
About a new spin, a new angle, a new show/movie that Netflix just came out, which is basically a lady reboot of Sherlock Holmes.
No, it's not. It's an adaptation of a children's book series, which happens to star Sherlock Holmes' younger sister.
Those who don't know, Sherlock Holmes...
They didn't say, oh, hey folks, this is Shirley Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is in the movie.
Is the famous book series by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and it's essentially the quintessential detective novel. Sherlock Holmes is this super smart detective who has had many successful books in the past that have also been interpreted and translated into TV and film many times. Now, you could say Netflix's new take is a bit more refreshing or fresh because they're doing a lady reboot of it, but...
No, they're not. Did he not take 5 seconds to Google what this is before he even, like... Did he take 5 seconds to look this up prior to making a video about it? Because if I were to make a video about, like, a movie or something I never heard of before, I'd at least Google what it was. Netflix didn't sit around and say, like, we want to make Sherlock Holmes, but a lady one. It's an adaptation of a already popular children's book series that stars Sherlock Holmes' sister. What?
But at the same time,
I don't even think Netflix made this. I think they bought it. It was originally going to come out in theaters, and then Warner Brothers, because of COVID and stuff, ended up selling it to Netflix, so it released on there.
Open the window blinds.
it does fall in line with all their other woke stuff. So I really do think it's time.
Women existing in media is woke. Did you guys know that? Any character on TV that doesn't have a big old dong is representative of the woke agenda. Dr. Gamble with 10 bits. You're under the assumption that he does research for his vids. Do you really want to give him that much credit? I mean, I'd think if you're doing anything online, you would take 5 seconds to Google it. Like, come on, he had to have.
To talk about it and get into some of these details and how they made a lady Sherlock Holmes. Essentially, it's Sherlock Holmes's younger sister that's featured in this movie. It's called Enola Holmes.
Enola. It's called Enola Holmes. Did you even watch the trailer for the movie before you went and made a video about it? My God.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Devious Chillstro, 25 bits. But what about the girls with big old dongs? Is that woke? Well, I'm looking at it from his perspective, and he definitely doesn't think girls with big old dongs are girls, so...
And that's a strange name, and it's obviously a girl version of him. And we'll see how it all plays out, because this isn't actually the first time this story and series has been girl washed, so to speak. They've had other feminist spin-offs over the past 2.
Having a woman in something does not automatically make it feminist. It can be, but just having a woman in something, starring in something, is not inherently feminist.
So we're going to talk about all those and the new one soon. We're going to get to the details and more, but first, let's take a quick moment to check out our sponsor. Right now, it's never a better time to support our...
He's literally shilling for these disgusting, like, Second Amendment gold coins. Friendos, don't you know that the Federal Reserve is a conspiracy put together by the cabal? You need guns, and when you need guns, you also need gold for the global financial collapse. Buy our Second Amendment gun gold. It's like they put a bunch of right-wing, like, grifter stuff into, like, a Mad Lib, and they're like, Second Amendment gold coins?
Second Amendment and our right to bear arms and protect ourselves. I mean, think about all the chaos going on in this country. Now's never been a better time to get yourself some self-defense and exert your Second Amendment right here in the United States of America. And
what does gold have to do with that?
That's why I say we should also get these free gold coins to help represent that. These coins are being given away for free right now for a limited time, only if you click the link below this video.
And you can also buy them. Let me guess. Just pay shipping. Oh boy, what do you think the shipping is on these? The shipping, we only ask you to cover $9.95. I have a feeling $9.95 is the cost of this coin. This is a scam because dumb old people or dumb right-wingers will be like, ooh, a gold coin. Gold coins are worth a bunch of money. And it's not a solid gold coin. It's gold plated. It doesn't cost a lot of money to ship. You could probably ship this in an envelope with maybe 2 stamps, if that. So that's incredibly cheap. And then just making like a coin out of some really cheap metal and plating it with a very thin layer of gold, not expensive. So this coin that they're selling for $9.95, the gold on it is worth less than $9.95. The shipping is the price.
All you have to do is pay
That I was in her chair.
for shipping, and you'll get these free gold coins with a beautiful weapon embroidered on them, and it's got American flag and a cool quote on the back.
You can't make this stuff up. This is hilarious.
There's nothing funny about
It's just really slick, really cool, and you can tell that you're a Second Amendment supporting American patriot. So if
I feel like if you had a gun, people would just know that if you open carry. Cascadia 93, it's not official currency, so it'll probably never have any value. Well, but like if you made like an actual solid gold coin, or even like something that has gold in it, but it's not completely gold, it would be worth the gold price. So this is worth probably very, very little money because of the gold plating. But even then, I don't know if you could, like, let's say I go to a pawn shop with this coin, and they take a look at it, and they see it's gold-plated. I don't even know if they're going to buy it, because the process of getting this actually, like, the gold plating removed, you would get so little out of it, I don't even think it would be worth it. So, yeah. It's probably basically worthless.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Cascadia 93. Well, yeah, but this is less gold plating than a Sacagawea dollar coin, though. That is less gold plating than a did the Sacagawea dollar coins actually have gold plating?
If you're interested, if you enjoy this country and our rights and our Second Amendment right to bear arms, make sure you check out our exclusive link below and get yourself this.
Honestly, if this whole Twitch streaming thing doesn't work out, grifting right-wingers is not a bad business to get into. Because they're very gullible, because as it turns out, when you're right-wing, it's probably indicative that you aren't very smart. So, grifting these people, not bad.
I want to see if she will come up.
Free gold coin. All you have to do is pay for shipping. Thanks for your time today.
Oh, I missed a thing. Highly Enderp, did he just say that they embroidered a metal coin? Embroidered as in the type of art that requires fabrics and threads? I don't know, it might have a different meaning in terms of coins, I have no idea.
And now, back to the show. Great, now that that's out of the way, let's talk more about Sherlock Holmes and its feminist spin-off. This article has more details. It says the
foil gold is incredibly inexpensive because it's just a few micrometers thick. Yeah, that's why the coin's worthless.
Curious Case of Sherlock Holmes feminist spin-offs, Netflix's Enola Holmes is only the latest attempt to insert a female protagonist into Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's stories. Now, that I think is already part of the problem. Here we could see other examples.
Hey, bud, it's in the public domain, at least most of it, and in a couple years, it'll all be in the public domain. It's fine. You can do whatever you want with public domain characters. Hey, no BS. How about this? If you want, you can go and write a Sherlock Holmes story where Sherlock Holmes is some kind of weird right-wing MRA. Go for it. You're allowed to do that. No one will want to see that except to laugh at it, but you're free to do so.
This is a lady Sherlock.
Paladin's Fury, I decided to waive my right to bear arms. I want a reindeer arms instead.
Holmes apparently some sort of minority as well. I'm familiar with this Lucy Liu character. I believe she plays Watson in a TV version of Sherlock called.
She does in Elementary, I think is the show that she's in. I've heard it's okay if you want like procedural cop drama, but it's Sherlock Holmes in America. I haven't watched it though, except for the first episode.
Elementary, so they have like a female Asian Watson. This is the more recent Sherlock from the BBC series that was also featured on Netflix. That, of course, is Benedict Cumberbatch, one of my favorite portrayals, one of the great modern portrayals. But now we're going all the way to the front here. This is Enola Holmes. This is the new
Enola. He's not even pronouncing it right. Like,
How's he pronouncing it?
Anila. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. You have the right to bear arms, which means you have the right to have my bare arms wrapped around you in a warm, cuddly hug, because Daddy gives amazing hugs. Oh, God.
Netflix spinoff. She's the character from the Stranger Things series. She's called Millie Bobby Brown. That's the actress, and she's portraying like the younger sister of Sherlock. And before we even get to more details, I think we can already see the problem in its inserting a female protagonist into these stories. And
why? What's the problem? It's not like she's solving, and even if she was, it wouldn't matter, but it's not like she's solving a Study in Scarlet or the Hound of the Baskervilles. She literally just also happens to be a detective by the end of the story. So she does her own cases and occasionally runs into Sherlock. But this is not like her replacing Sherlock. Sherlock is a main character in the story. No BS hasn't even seen the movie. I have. So I'm a million times more qualified to talk about this than he is.
It just goes to show this is the kind of style and the kind of lazy kind of reboots that a lot.
It's not lazy. It's not even a reboot. It's just a different character in the same universe.
A lot of leftists go for. They find another popular thing, like for example,
Dr. Gamble with 10 bits. Females in my stories. Yeah.
In 2016, they decided they wanted a Ghostbusters movie, and instead of making their own ghost-busting movie and, having it called something else like Girl Ghost Cops or something, they could have made a whole...
They're still mad about Ghostbusters. It's so funny. Like, guys, I didn't think Ghostbusters was funny either, but you know what? After the movie ended, I just haven't really thought about it, because when I watch a bad movie, I just think, oh, that wasn't very good, and then I move on with my life. I don't think it's indicative of some leftist conspiracy to undermine my worldview just because I don't like a movie. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. They. Who is they? Hollywood executives are not indicative of the left. They're indicative of greedy capitalism, yeah. No, but don't you understand? Somebody told, who was it that I watched the video of where they're like, oh, Doomcock, didn't you hear though, up until recently Disney didn't operate as a for-profit company. Remember that?
Yeah.
Doomcock was like, moving forward Disney will operate as a for-profit company moving forward.
Other thing, but instead they want to insert it into the Ghostbusters, the official series, which of course started in the 80s. It was all dudes. It was Bill Murray and a couple of other...
Look, dude, it's okay to like Ghostbusters. I like Ghostbusters, but it's not some holy thing. Chill out. They're already doing another reboot, by the way. Like, it's fine. Don't ever think that some movie series that you hold dear, or book series, or anything that's a commodity for any business, don't assume it's this pure thing that they'll never touch and, oh, it'll be ruined if some other thing happens to the series. Like, that's just not the reality of media entities in the 21st century. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Well, now I need to play Nuka World again. Thanks, Hannah. I wish I could get Fallout 4 to work. Every time I play a new game of Fallout 4... I end up with, after playing it for like days, like I'll get this thing where it thinks that my like save files can't save because it thinks my like storage is full, but it's not. It's awful. It's annoying. Makes it unplayable.
Other great comic actors, Dan Aykroyd, and that was a great original series, but then inserting the...
Let's not pretend people liked Ghostbusters 2. In hindsight, people have decided they like Ghostbusters 2. But people liked Ghostbusters, then Ghostbusters 2 came out, and people hated it. So, all the people who are, like, weren't born when Ghostbusters came out, including me, all the people like this who weren't born when Ghostbusters came out saying, like, oh, the series was perfect until Ghostbusters 2016. People hated Ghostbusters 2 when it came out. What are you talking about? Andrew Dickerson. Is he mad about the Great Ace Attorney series where Watts is an 8-year-old little girl, or the new English VTuber Watts and Amelia? I'm not familiar with any of those. I have no idea if he is, so.
The females is where it's just kind of lazy and problematic and just woke.
What's problematic about it? I'm curious if you even know what that word actually means. Please explain to me how having a character that is a woman is problematic. Please explain.
A lot of times, in addition, they don't just go with it and have a cool story that happens to be a girl. They make it all about being a girl. Like, it's all about feminism and girl power. And also, in addition, a lot of feminists make the mistake of overly bashing men. So part of like the feminist ethos, part of their sort of personality in the modern era is hating on men. So they bash...
Women are problematic. Also, did you know women hate men?
Men, which happened in Ghostbusters 2016. It's happened in many other lady reboots. Ocean's 11 had a lady reboot recently that had similar problems, and that's how I see this whole Enola Holmes thing too. It's trying to be feminist. It's trying to kind of steal shine from a more popular male character, which is just what happens in all these cases. It's,
hey, dipshit. Sherlock Holmes is one of the most prolific film characters of all time. So it's up there. I think the top two are Sherlock Holmes and Dracula. The most media of any singular characters has been about Sherlock or been about Dracula. Out of the 10,000 Sherlock Holmes things, the fact that there happens to be one popular kids book series that stars his sister, and then they adapt it into a movie, doesn't do anything to harm the character Sherlock Holmes. Very, very stupid take.
It's like they can't make their own thing and try to get popular on their own, so they have to invade a male space and take
Excuse me, ladies, Sherlock Holmes is my male safe space. And if you invade my very, very heteronormative safe space where Sherlock Holmes lives with his best friend, Watson, please, women, please get out of my clubhouse. It's my Sherlock Holmes clubhouse. No women allowed. Thank you. This is the end of my TEDx talk.
it over and just totally pervert the whole point. When Dr. John Watson agreed to share lodgings with a friend of a friend in 1887's A Study in Scarlet, one of popular fiction's great oses was born. Inside the sanctum of 2021 B Baker Street, Holmes and Watson existed in a fantasy of late Victorian homosociality, a cross between Oxbridge undergraduate life and feckless bohemia. Their world was incomplete yet perfect, like all fantasies, as bewitching for what it excluded: regular hours, real jobs, sexuality, and its discontents. As for the pipe smoking,
no one tell this guy about the Watson Sherlock shippers.
disguises and idle gunplay that is contained, Arthur Conan Doyle got tired of it all long before his fans did, and married Watson off to a woman who mattered so little to her creator that he could not remember if she was alive or dead, and he killed off Holmes himself in 1893. 10 years later, popular demand obliged Conan Doyle to resurrect the great detective, whereupon Watson moved right back to the Baker Street flat. These two friends live forever, nurtured by
friends. I shouldn't say that. I know the original intent is they're actually friends. Little bit gay, though.
By the redoubtable Miss Hudson, and perpetually ready to take on the next adventure. Fans all over the globe adore the bubble in which the Sherlock Holmes stories take place. But at the same time, many can't resist the urge to pop in. So we'll get more to that. But essentially, we're recapping how Sir Arthur Conan Doyle tried to retire his character. He brought it back by popular demand. He created this wonderful detective character. Sherlock Holmes is legendary. You know, more details for those who don't know. He's just like super smart. He's a private detective too. So he's not.
I hate this attitude, by the way, of like any character, especially if it's in the public domain, when there's no canon at all at this point. Just being like, let me tell you how amazing this character is, and how great he is, and how he's the bestest ever, and also he's in the public domain, but don't you dare do anything different with him, okay? Don't you dare do anything different with this character, or I'm gonna okay? I'm gonna until my head explodes, okay? Look, bud, I don't know if you know how the history of storytelling has worked, but especially prior to, like, this idea of, like, IP, intellectual property, if there was a character people liked, they'd just make stories about them, and it was all canon or none of it was canon, whatever you wanted it to be, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. No one tell this guy about fan fiction. Oh, boy. Some of the biggest media franchises on the planet exist because of fan fiction. 50 Shades of Grey. And I know someone like No BS would be like, one of the biggest media franchises. Yeah, bud. There are movies and books other than those that are read by straight white dudes. 50 Shades of Grey was a huge, huge cultural phenomenon, and so were the movies. I don't think they're good, but a lot of people read them. And they exist because they're fan fiction. They were fan fiction of Twilight that was then adapted into its own thing by E.L. James. So let's not pretend that the sanctity of characters has brought us more art than throwing it all to the wind and saying, hey, what if this? Like, Sherlock itself, the show that he already said he liked, took the conceit of Sherlock and completely changed it, basically. He's no longer a Victorian detective. He lives in the modern day. Not only that, but he seems to be a little on the spectrum, you know? Which Sherlock could be pretty closed off in the books, but he's not the same as Sherlock in, like, the Sherlock show. Why does this dude sound like a fourth grader giving a book report they didn't actually read or prep for in any way? I doubt this guy's read a single Sherlock Holmes story. Which is fine. No one should be obliged to. But if you're gonna act like you have this huge boner for Sherlock Holmes, Maybe read a book. That'd be good. Dr. Gamble with 100 bits. Send them all to fan fiction. And then the Stellar Sea Cow. How about the fact that for most of us, that the canon, the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle stories, how about the fact that most of the canon for the King Arthur stories started out as basically fan fiction? Yeah, it's like that. Like, I'm sure there are tons of stories, and I know this isn't a popular character anymore, but like, Robin Hood. Robin Hood was a really, really popular fantasy character, sort of fantasy. In that he didn't really exist, but he existed in a real location. You know what I mean? Within the stories. But, like, anyone could make a Robin Hood story. Just seems weird. When things go into the public domain, you can do whatever you want to them. And even when they're not, if you own the copyright to something or you own the trademark, then you can do whatever you want. Do away with this idea of, like, the sanctity of your franchises. It's not going to do you any good. Let it go.
Really like cop or some kind of like authority figure. He just solves crimes and cases because it interests him, and he's got this like super high intellect, and he can always like spot the little details. Like he could see there's a little dust on your shoe, he could smell a little smoke on your jacket. Like he's got these like heightened senses, not like supernatural heightened, just like he's very, very alert and very, very smart, and he's critical thinking. He could solve problems and like think 10 steps ahead. You know, a lot of cool stuff in there. And the other interpretation I'd bring up here is a good interpretation was Sherlock Holmes played by Robert Downey Jr. That was actually a really good one. Him making that movie with, I believe, Guy Ritchie was a good...
See, that's super weird that he's also lauding, like, he's saying that, like, the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock movies are good. And I agree. I like the Robert Downey Sherlock movies, but they basically turned Sherlock Holmes into an action movie star, which is very antithetical to the Sherlock of the books. But he's okay with it because Sherlock's the main character in that one. Like, the only thing he seems to not like about Enola Holmes isn't that it's disrespecting canon, because he just listed multiple things that have disrespected canon in one way or another. It just seems like he's mad that there's a character that's the main character that's a woman. And that's what annoys him. And it's childish. It's incredibly childish.
Good series. There was 2 of them. I believe they might be making another follow-up later on. I was hoping and hearing about that recently, but essentially, yeah, that was a really good one. It used like slow motion, and it showed him looking at little details, thinking ahead. It was just like a really well done way of getting into his mind and his thinking. And, you know, the BBC series Sherlock with Benedict up here, that had some similar things in it, and it's always going to be similar in each interpretation. But yeah, the point is, he's this great super detective, really smart, and that's why the character's beloved, and that's why Conan Doyle had to bring it back. And then now that's why they're trying to lady reboot it and invade this space, which is just kind of cheap.
You can't invade my public domain space. Hey, I don't know how to break this to you, no BS. You don't own the space of a franchise, especially not one that's in the public domain. You liking something is not make it something someone else can invade for doing something else with it. What do you mean invading male space? It's a public domain character. They can be used in anything. Like, I could go and write a fan fiction tomorrow, and it's Sherlock Holmes railing no BS right in the butt. And that's the entirety of the fan fiction. Just sensual, sweet, deductive lovemaking between Sherlock Holmes and no BS. And that would be fine. The character, as written in the books by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, still exists. If you want that to be your canon, that's fine. Other people can make literally whatever material they want with the character. That's how the public domain works.
And lame, as we said before. Holmes is the prototype of a certain kind of male hero, aloof, ascetic,
Ask Compu, discombobulate him right in the butt.
opponent of pure rationalism and ostensibly
Pure rationalism, oh boy.
immune to emotion and snares of romantic love. Star Trek's Mr. Spock is another. Characters like this serve as batteries for the fanish imagination. They generate pastiche and spin-offs and vast databases of fan...
Yes, pastiche and spin-off. Hello? Hello? Enola Holmes is a spin-off, you dumb fuck.
fiction. It's precise...
Iron Q Bolt with 10 bits read that fan fiction in a heartbeat, but no BS must have a real bull's head, of course.
because Holmes seems to lack ordinary human weaknesses that writers of all kinds want to imagine him succumbing to them, whether it's the addiction that compels him to undergo psychotherapy in this novel or the secret passion for Watson himself in another series like the Sherlock TV series. One thing conspicuously missing from Sherlock Holmes' story is a significant female protagonist. Miss Hudson plays mom, underscoring that her tenants are just two overgrown boys, and Mary Watson, when she finally comes along, is a cookie-cutter angel in the house. And then there's Irene Adler, opera singer, adventuress, and one of only 4 people, as well as the only woman to outwit Holmes. After every afterword, according to Watson, the great detective referred to her as the woman, but she appears in only one of Conan Doyle's stories, A Scandal in Bohemia. So this is the character that ends up being like a romantic interest for Sherlock Holmes. And I remember Adler appeared in the BBC series, and she comes up when they do want to bring in a girl character. But really what's going on is they're getting at is Holmes is just not interested. Like, he's just not interested in dating and hooking
Why are you talking about this in a review that's about his sister?
up and like having dates and girlfriends and stuff. Like, there's just some people that never marry, you know, it's like almost like an asexual kind of thing. That's the way I saw it in some interpretations.
And yes, she's only mentioned in the one story in the original books, and they're not a thing. That's only a thing in, like, later adaptions. Which makes sense as an adaptation. Like, if you're adapting it and you like that character, you might say, oh, well, she was sort of a match for Sherlock, so why wouldn't it be the case that they might have some sort of interest or whatever? But, yeah, no. In the original book, it wasn't like that.
It really depends on which one you're watching. I mean, I wouldn't even say that would be that far. It would just maybe be like, he's just too busy. He doesn't think about it. He might like girls and he might want to hook up one day and have a kid, but
or he's roommates with Watson for the greater part of a decade. And they spend all their time together and have similar interests in that they both solve mysteries together and whatever.
the current time, he's just like one of those guys who just is always doing
Dudes spanking dudes with 10 bits, watching Dumbo on Disney Plus, and Jesus, the "We Work All Day, We Work All Night" song is really racist. The lyrics go to, oh, yeah, nope, not gonna read that, but yeah.
experiment, always busy on something, you know, one of those like mad scientist types who doesn't really have it in them. And I think the reason this article is bringing it up is just to kind of bring up like there's not enough girls in the series. That's the whole point. That's the whole problem for them. But I don't see that as a real issue. I think
that's fine, and you don't have to see it as an issue if you don't want to. But you're also not producing a movie. Millie Bobby Brown and whoever produced it with her is. And they would like to do this with these public domain characters. So they will. And that's fine.
Would you turn the lights up in the living room?
Yeah.
I think that's only an issue if you're like looking at stuff and trying to think, hey, let's fill these check marks. Does it have enough women? Does it have enough minorities? Does it have enough, you know, woke messages? And I just don't judge things like that, especially art and movies.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm a white man, and literally all media in the 20th century, and even prior to that, in the Western world, was made specifically with me in mind, so I just don't have to think about these things. Yeah, that must be very, very good for you. I'm happy. I'm happy for you. But other people don't have that same benefit, where the vast majority of all media put out in the last 200 years was made for them. So that's why this happens. Do you understand? Do you understand that you don't have to think about this? Imagine if, like, only a small percentage of all the movies, all the books to be made that you're aware of, all starred women, and none of them had themes that resonated with you as a man. You'd probably start to be like, wow, there are no male characters in these books, and there are no male role models or male protagonists. But there is, so you don't have to think about that. Sorry, I'm just switching the lights on for her with my phone.
And entertainment, like some of them happen to have a lot of guys, some of them have a lot of girls too. Like there's different kinds of movies. This is just the story and the way Sherlock Holmes tends to play out. And as the article goes on here, they finally talk about Enola. That's from the director of Fleabag. It stars the Stranger Things actor Millie Bobby Brown, as I mentioned earlier. That's the teenage sister of Sherlock Holmes, who is played by Henry Cavill. There's a Henry Cavill Sherlock in this movie, which is kind of cool. I mean, that's a great actor. You know, he played Superman. He's pretty cool. And the fact that he's in there as a side Sherlock Holmes side character is funny, but again, it's definitely pushing the girl power stuff.
What's funny about it? It's literally her brother, and part of her motivation for being a detective in the end. Like, she has great respect for her brother, even though he... Again, I saw the movie. You didn't. Why am I even talking like you saw the movie? Why are you making this video to just bitch about the fact that it's a movie with a woman in it? It's so stupid.
Stuff and showing this whole thing where it's like, oh, we have to have a girl version. Enola is sweet and stylish, but also entirely predictable, right down to the mini accelerations to defy convention, coming from such inspirational figures as Enola's mother and her suffragette friends. So we've got her mother being a suffragette, like fighting for women's rights.
Suffragette? Is that what you mean? Does he not even know how to pronounce suffragette? What a weirdo.
Like literal feminist in this film. And
oh no, not the radical feminist suffragettes who want women to have the right to vote. Oh.
And albeit it's in the Victoria era, this is actually when the original...
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Stellar Sea Cow, he doesn't know how to pronounce Enola, and I mean, that's the name of the plane that dropped the atomic bombs. Yeah, the Enola Gay. I'm familiar. Cascadia 93, this reminds me of H Bomber Guy's video about Star Wars reviewers, and none of them saw or finished the movie before doing their reviews. Funny.
Feminists popped up, and they had a point back then. You know, they actually had rights to fight.
Don't you love this when this comes from Emma Rays too? Oh boy, when feminists actually had things to fight for, everything's actually completely equitable now. So actually, feminists, just stop. Just stop now. Just stop. Just stop now. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. No. So stupid.
Fight for. There was like the right to vote and own property and stuff like that, depending on which country. I know this is set in Britain, usually London, but yeah, there was actually a need. These are like original feminists, but the fact that they're putting them in a Sherlock Holmes thing and making this new movie featuring stuff about them, it's
a movie starring a woman in the Victorian era. It makes sense to bring up social issues in regards to gender, and it is something that comes up in the movie. Furious Aptus, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
Obviously,
why is he showing GTA 5? I have no idea.
Being brought up now in the present to get in on this woke stuff, to show that they're girl power. I'm sure when they pitch this movie, that's the kind of thing I like to think of, especially since South Park made that great joke about Netflix a few years back when they were goofing on them. Like the South Park boys were trying to pitch a show and they called Netflix, and the guy's like, he's like, hello, you reached Netflix, you're greenlit, what's your story? And basically they answer the phone and they greenlit you without even knowing what your story is. Greenlight means they just...
I'm pretty sure that was a Rick and Morty joke. Unless South Park also did it, I'm not sure.
Just approve your movie to be made, your show to be made. And in Netflix, in the...
God, I hate South Park so much at this point. In fairness, I haven't watched South Park in like 3 years or so. Not since... The last season of South Park I watched was the Member Berries season. I'm so over... And maybe it's just because I got older. It would make sense. I'm so over South Park's juvenile view of the world. Like, every single situation is like, oh, you care about a thing? That's lame. Let me tell you why it's actually good not to ever care about anything. And actually, regardless of the situation, I'm gonna say that being in the middle is always correct, no matter what the situation is. It's incredibly juvenile. And I really, really don't like it.
And then South Park version, they were goofing on them because they just greenlight everything. They don't really think...
South Park is enlightened centrism with dick jokes, basically.
Much about it. And the way I see this pitch, I believe Enola Holmes was probably pitched as a girl Sherlock Holmes. And
like literally, and it makes South Park wrong all the time too. Like, do you guys remember South Park did a whole episode where they were making fun of global warming as a concept? Where they're like, actually, global warming isn't that big of an issue. And later, they made an episode where they were like, oh shit, we were wrong, global warming is wrong. But it's not like they've changed their modus operandi on things and actually start being like, oh, maybe on some issues, a single group is more right than the other. It seems like, and again, haven't seen the last 3 seasons, so it's entirely possible they've changed. but last time I saw, they were still pushing this all like, if there's an extreme right and a left, then clearly the answer is somewhere exactly in the middle of those two positions. It's very stupid.
And Netflix was like, all right, here's $1 million, make the movie. You know, like it was on, like it was going from that point. And that's just showing you how simple and just feeble-minded these kinds of harebrained leftist ideas are.
All these feeble-minded leftist ideas, like having a movie starring a woman. You okay? You okay, bud?
Sure, this movie could be interesting too. It does have a good cast. Helena Bonham Carter is another cast member I am familiar with up here. She's really good, and I'm sure it's interesting, but the greater point is the propaganda angle, the whole Sherlock being feminized and being
Sherlock is not feminized. Sherlock is in the movie. He's still Sherlock Holmes. Having a woman as the main character in a movie doesn't make Sherlock Holmes feminine.
being kind of like made into this beta side character and his
beta side character. If Sherlock Holmes and his giant man cock aren't on screen at all times, then is it even a movie?
His own series. I mean, surely he's had enough movies too. Like, we understand, like, it's been done.
Why is Abby Shapiro? What? What?
And making a new take is interesting, but the fact of the matter is they're piggybacking on Sherlock Holmes's fame, and they're making this feminist reboot, and it's being done.
Feminist reboot, bud. Something having a woman in it does not automatically make it feminist. What do you not understand?
On Netflix,
there are two genders, men and political. Get your politics out of my movies.
One of the worst woke offenders of our lifetime. That about wraps things up. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Also hit that like button to get this shared. Subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell for notifications.
Why is Abby Shapiro here? Does anyone know why?
Too. Until next time, have a great day.
Wow. For a guy named No Bullshit, that sure was a whole lot of bullshit. What a friggin' child. She's to feminist reboot of her brother, clearly.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Iron Q Bolt with 10 bits. He literally ends every single video with an attractive woman on screen for absolutely no reason but eye candy. Oh, okay. Cascadia 93 got him. Absolutely original joke. Never made before, ever. Hey guys, did you see? Did you see? I'm stealing this video from Jake's stream. Did you guys see Abby Shapiro? I'm a big fan of musical theater. I enjoy musicals. I enjoy Phantom of the Opera. Bad movie, notwithstanding. So Abby... Abby did a Phantom of the Opera medley. If you don't know, Abby is a classically trained opera singer. Phantom of the Opera is not an opera. It's like a rock opera in the sense that it's got, like, you know, and it's like, but it's not an opera, okay? The movie, in fact, makes fun of a person who sings like a classical opera singer. So here we have Abby doing that to music that really was not made for it.
Hello, classic crew, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be singing a Phantom of the Opera medley. I'm really excited to do this video today because if you don't know, Phantom of the Opera is not actually an opera. So I think the idea of doing this video where an opera singer is singing Phantom of the Opera would be a ton of fun. And I'm really excited to share this with you guys. There's some funny parts hidden throughout, so keep an eye out for that. And let's get into it. think of me fondly when we've said goodbye. Remember me.
This song's the least bad out of the ones she does, because it actually is like a slow, like melodic song, but she does so much vibrato.
That once again you long to take your heart back and be free. If you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me.
For me! No, I do not sing. I couldn't carry a tune if it had handles.
We never said our love was evergreen or as unchanging as the sea.
It keeps going too fast for the tempo of the music.
Still remember, stop and think of me. Think
You demand a safe word? No!
Don't think about the way things might have been.
This is the best one of all of them, by the way.
Think
for the
of
record.
me
It's gonna be
waiting
worse.
silent and resigned. Imagine me trying too hard to push you from my mind.
From
Think
my
of those days,
mind.
look back on all those times. Think of the things we'll never do. There will never be a day.
I agree. What does this sound like at like half speed? Not only is Abby wrong about Phantom of the Opera not being an opera literally means multiple works, which all musicals are. She sings everything 10 points flat of the piano, and the songs are all the third or fourth lower in key than they should be. Dr. Campbell with 300 bits, yes! Super fast? Okay, we can try fast.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
You were once my one companion. You were all that mattered. You were once a friend, father, and my world.
With another
Wishing you were
300
somehow
bits,
here
yes.
again. Wishing you were somehow near. Sometimes
Nope, gotta
it seemed
slow it down.
if I just
We'll get through the
dreamed,
video
somehow
too
you
fast.
would be here. Wishing I could hear your voice again, knowing that I never would.
This video makes still
Dreaming of
alive
you
Andrew
would
Lloyd
help
Webber
me
roll in his
to
grave.
do all that I dreamed I could. Passing bells and sculpted angels, old and years fighting back tears. Why can't the past just die?
She sounds like Dai or whatever the name. Phantom of the Opera. What's her name? She's the prima donna character. Prima donna. She's this person in Phantom of the Opera. I can't play it because I'd get DMCA'd. But like, she's this character from Phantom of the Opera, but in real life that they make fun of because she can't sing.
Wishing you were somehow here again, knowing we must say goodbye. Try to forgive, teach me to live, give me the strength to try. No more memories,
Carlotta, that's her name,
no
thank
more
you.
silent
Christine
tears,
Daae was the
no
good singer.
more gazing across the wasted years. Help me say goodbye.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
No more talk of darkness.
Dr. Gamble, I've
Forget
transcended
these
thanks to this. Fare
wide-eyed
thee well, who dwell
fears.
below.
I'm here. Nothing can harm you. My words will warm and call you. Let
Afghanistan for Blackmail says classically trained. That much vibrato is not good, and she is not supporting properly and breathing, internal screaming. Dr. Gamble, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Oh, that is so bad. Okay, I'll go back to normal speed for a bit.
Your fears are far behind you. All I want is freedom, a world with no more night, and you always beside me.
Devious Chillster with 100 bits. Uh-oh, pomegranate, banana. Oh, fuck, what's the safe word? Detroit, Chicago. There's hope for humanity.
Let me lead you from your solitude.
Hype train for the train wreck.
With you here beside you. Let me go too. Love me, that's all I ask of you. Where in the world have you been hiding? Really, you were perfect. I only wish I knew your secret. Oh, is your great tutor. For the one spoke of an angel. I used to dream he'd appear. Now as I sing, I can sense it.
A vibrato is that thing in your voice when it goes kind of up and down in pitch. But, like, I think it can be done well. I just don't think she's doing it well. As compute, I don't know anything about voice training or singing, though. So. As compute, I can't. I have too much of whatever the opposite of tone deafness is to listen to this.
Softly, somewhere inside, hiding. Someone I know is always with me.
Skywise8 with 100 bits. I'm pretty sure, according to the Geneva Conventions, this is torture. And Dr. Gamble with 400 bits has another link.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Citizen Kane. Nice.
Unseen genius, I am your angel of music. Come to me, angel of music.
Oh. The attempts at acting are funnier to me than the singing itself. Oh God! What is she doing?
In sleep he sang to me, in dreams he came. That voice which calls to me and speaks my name. And do I dream again? For now I find the phantom of the opera is there inside my mind.
Oh no! You did it in the rope!
Those who have seen your face drop back in fear. I am the mask you wear, it's you they hear. My spirit and my voice in one combined. The phantom of the opera is there inside my mind. Is there the phantom of the opera?
It's like she thinks opera is just adding a ton of vibrato and ignoring literally every other element of music.
Sing
Your life
for
force
me.
slipping away. She's so pitchy and has no sense of time signature. I don't want to get off this ride. Well, it's almost over, unfortunately.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Lysaeus with 100 bits. Weirdly, she has potential. The quality of her voice is nice. Her vibrato is just too quick.
Thank you
She
so
needs
much
to
for watching
help with
today's
keeping
video.
tempo
Please
too.
subscribe to
If
my
this is
channel
her with
and
training,
blog
I
if you
can't
haven't
imagine what
already.
she sounded
Head
like
over to my
before
Twitter,
training.
Instagram, and Facebook
There's
and follow
nothing
me
funny
there.
about the tools of capitalism.
Is there any other classically Abby singing videos? Thanks for the hype train, everyone. Singing.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dr. Gamble with 10 bits. Bugs Bunny clip of opera is all I can think of.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Iron Q Bolt says, I love hearing people shit on Abby singing, or love hearing music people shit on Abby singing. It takes me back to my college days in choir. Devious Chillster with 25 bits. No wonder Ben Shapiro doesn't think rap is music if this is what the Shapiro family thinks singing is. This one requires a slowdown. It turns out the Phantom of the Opera was her toning down her vibrato. This is its natural habitat.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
This is some wet ass O word right here. What?
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Wolves join in now howling. I want to hear her sing wet ass P word, but with that same voice. Like, try and sing the rap. Certified freak, 7 days a week. We got to get the better Shapiro in on this. As a cleanse.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Here are some of the lyrics. You ready?
I'm Marquis.
Thrash Mia with 40 bits. They were just using the power of hat, synergized with the timing of cat.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pull out game weak. Yeah. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up and catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Wipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top if I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet. Come take a dive. It continued.
Anna is a goblin. Thank you for following.
And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar. Talk your S-word, bite your lip, ask for a call while you ride that P-word. You really ain't never gonna F him for a thing.
We need to remember Ben Shapiro's wife is a doctor.
Get your boots and your coat for this wet-ass P-word. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet-ass P-word. Right, so, this is, guys, this is what feminists fought for. This is what the feminist movement was all about.
Oh, no, he didn't. Miss Peaches?
This is worth rewatching. This is probably the last video we're gonna watch. We'll watch this as cleanse, and then we're probably gonna call it a night. This is the Ben Shapiro parody. The best Ben Shapiro parody on the internet.
Goodbye, honey. Have a wonderful day at work. As a doctor at the doctor's office. She's a doctor. Hold on 1 second. I just been trying to make sure about... let's see... Perfectly dry. As it should be. It's perfectly dry. She does not have a wet-ass P-word. Let's go. You can't get your wife's P-word wet. These trolls. Actually, my wife, who is a doctor, says that it would be a medical problem if it got wet, or it would mean that she tinkled her pants. Guess what? My wife is potty trained. Checkmate, liberals. Honey? Why is this chicken wet? You know how much I hate wet meat. Well, the only reason their P-words would be wet is because of liberal tears, probably. Oh, they have a Bernie bumper sticker, of course. Do you have any idea that Bernie dropped the fuck out of their goddamn race? People who vote for Bernie get so triggered. They're fucking stupid. Oh, you're not supposed to be filming right now, actually. And that was straight facts, and none of them cared about your feelings because facts don't care about your feelings. Sorry, liberal. Where's the main? Oh, there it is. Gosh. Oh, it's hot. That's hot. Honey, did you put black pepper on the chicken again? God damn it. She's probably been watching CNN again. Oh my gosh, bumper to bumper again. I thought Los Angeles was supposed to be progressive. This traffic's certainly not progressing anywhere. Write that one down so I can say it on Joe Rogan's podcast. And you're blocked. Where's my Milky? Go! I'm gonna be late for Joe Rogan's podcast! I have to extinguish it somehow. Wait a minute. Honey, why does the mayo sound like wet P-word right now? Oh god, it's Cardi B again on the radio. Cardi B, her mom should have taken Planny B. It's well known in the medical field, which my wife is a part of, that having a wet-ass P-word means you either have trichomoniasis, vaginosis, or yeast infection, or you're simply anti-Semitic. What is this mayonnaise called? The Last Dab? This is hotter than a gefilte fish straight out the jar. That's it, I need some milk. Where's my sister? Somebody's saying they sent me nudes of my sister to... Oh no, that's definitely not her breasts. Get out of here! These liberals are literally on their phones all day long. Hold on, somebody's tweeting at me. I gotta clap back. They really changed the name of the street to Barack Obama Boulevard. Barack Hussein Obama. It literally sounds like a Muslim fucking leprechaun or something. Why isn't there a George W. Bush Boulevard? That's what I want to know. I want to understand that. The name of Bomb Boulevard should be changed to Boulevard Broken Dreams, like the Green Day song. And the Green Day song, American Idiot, should be about Barack Obama himself. If he even was American, that is. Oh my gosh, why is it so hot like some kind of Mexicana Latina? Gel, listen, we don't eat the left wing in this house, we only eat the right wing. Checkmate, liberals. Cock is actually the traditional word for chicken, and yes, I do like eating lots of it. So Wikipedia, a website that claims it's free for everybody to edit, will no longer let me edit my height on my own bio. It's my bio, I should be able to decide. Yeah, actually, no, can you vacuum as well? And then can you clean on top of the cupboards? I can't reach up there. Oh yeah, there's some chores in this house. There's some chores in this house. Exactly, no, it's like the Cardi B song. She says whores in this house. There's chores in this house, yeah. This is the university. What?
Yeah, it's, it looks pretty closed.
Well, how am I supposed to do my talk on how facts don't care about your feelings? They locked the gates even. That hurts my feelings, and that's a fact. Look, I don't even care about USC. I don't need to do a speech there. Their mascot is the Trojans, for God's sakes. And I hate contraception. I'm Orthodox, so I don't like condoms. Look it up. Nutritional facts is basically just another type of regulation that liberals have forced upon us. For instance, it's all lies anyway. 59 servings, it does not last 59 meals. Let's Google BBC so we can learn about liberal news, and go. And this is just disgusting. If you Google BBC, don't hit the videos tab, whatever you do. I need to check some of these out. Get out. Get out. My wife has a perfectly dry P word. You saw me check when she got out the car.
Yeah, no, I saw that. It's 100% dry for sure.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, if you look closely at the nutritional facts in this, actually there's 0 trans fats. That's right, checkmate, liberals. If only we could make the country have 0 trans fats.
Next election. They are the ones that can change things dramatically if they show up and vote. November 3rd is our time. That's right.
They told them the date?
Let's be heard. Vote for real change.
What's poppin' LA? It's your girl Cardi B.
No! No!
We should have been have free Medicare for a long time. And
the wet-ass P-word ladies on the radio right now!
3LA.com. P-word change LA.
Someone sent this video. It's the Wopera. Does someone sing this, or is it literally just the composition they put together?
In this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some, yeah, 7 days a week. Ooh, wet ass pussy. Whores in this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some, yeah, 7 days a week. Ooh, wet ass pussy. Whores in this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house, there's some whores in this house.
I said certified freak, yeah. 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Wet ass pussy, make that pull-out game weak. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy.
Whores whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
I said
There's some
certified freak.
Yeah.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Wet ass pussy, make that pull-out game weak. Yeah, you fuck me with some wet ass pussy.
That's great. I think we're gonna raid Riley.
Just using the term purist or using the term like gatekeeper or anything like that is much.
So thanks
better
everyone for
because
coming to
it's
the
not
stream.
loaded
It was a
term,
lot of fun.
and
Tomorrow
it
we'll be
gets
back
sort
to
of
do who
more
knows what.
to
Maybe
the
some sovereign
actions of the
citizens. I'm
person
really not
instead
sure.
of the
So
character of the person.
have a good night,
Yeah,
everyone.
I agree. Again, I
I
don't love using the term 'cause it is also, I guess,
will
in
see
that
you guys
sense, like an
later.
ad hom.
Chat is
It
valid.
is an ad hom.
Good night, everyone.
So I just don't like using ad homs, right? I just use it like the only times I've ever used it is to try to like talk about it in terms of like how